Welcome.
Vocal exercises.
Welcome.
Oh no, it's a mess.
Armchair Expert. I'm Dax Shepard, and I'm joined by Monica Padman.
Hi.
Hi. I was giggling because I tried to do it quietly.
They're going to hear it. I'm going to leave that in.
Oh, you're going to leave that in. Okay.
Yeah.
Today's episode is someone I idolize as an actor. His name is Billy Crudup. He is a Tony and Emmy Award-winning actor. He's very sparkly and magic-y. He
really is.
Yeah, he's very special. Almost Famous, Watchmen, Big Fish, Sleepers, of course, The Morning Show. New season is currently out now on Apple Plus TV, and he is in a new movie in theaters November 4th, now, in theaters now, and on Netflix on December 5th. Jay Kelly, and it's got the Clune Doctor in it.
It sure does, and Adam Sandler. It's a big movie.
It's a big old movie, Noah Baumbach.
Yes.
Incredible. Please enjoy Billy Crudup. Armchair Expert is proud to have Alexa Plus as our presenting sponsor. The all-new Alexa Plus is your smart, proactive AI assistant. Just chat naturally about anything and watch your to-do list disappear. It learns your style and anticipates what's next across Echo, Fire TV, and more. Learn more at amazon.com/new Alexa.
He's an armchair expert. He's an armchair expert. He's an armchair expert.
Fantastic. I got you guys a pumpkin spice latte if you want one. No, I don't know what that is.
That's what you did? How charming.
Are they? I've never had one. The smell really puts me off.
Yeah.
Gotta just be perfume, right?
Yeah. That's not a real taste.
Distilled pumpkin?
Well, no,
Pumpkin
there's
spice?
pumpkin spice. That's real. All spice is real. These are real spices, you guys.
But pumpkin spice. How do you make pumpkin
That's a
spice? Is it
great
from the peel?
question.
Like you dry out the peel?
The
a great
seeds,
question.
grind up the seeds, mix with a little paprika.
No.
No,
I don't think it's
I don't think that's how it works.
Good thing we do a fact check.
Oh,
And
there you
now I
go.
have
That's a good
something
place to
check.
start.
Mm-hmm.
Billy, where are you staying?
At a little boutique hotel called the Chateau Marmont.
Oh, I would have guessed.
I love
would
it.
have guessed. All of you boys do Chateau.
Well, this one Naomi set up because
is she also in town?
She is in town. She's got a premiere for a show she did, and a couple of days ago she got a star on the Walk of Fame.
Oh,
So we had a
okay.
ceremony for that.
that's
You
lovely.
were you in attendance?
I certainly was. Most certainly was.
I didn't go to my one.
I know that was that's
Huh.
embarrassing.
Yeah,
You were working out, I guess.
I was busy lifting.
Sure.
I was in the middle of a
Well,
sack.
dude, then that's a total bro excuse.
Well, I mean, what are we
Word.
gonna do?
I mean, I could lift that stone.
I could say goodbye to these gains, but they're temporary, and that star's permanent. I'll get to it.
I went to hers.
You were there?
That's
Yeah.
generous.
And then there were protesters there. The
Yeah.
anti-vax community hates us, so they were in full force, screaming at her. What a day to remember! I'm sad I missed it.
Holy cow. Okay, that is a different sort of spin.
Yeah, not what I think a young actor envisions when they think of getting a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Sorry. Could you guys just for a second quiet down? Just give me
Yeah.
1 second.
You can berate me afterwards.
Total agreement, but I just need
Yeah,
a second with my star.
It also is funny because, like, you know, in the pictures, you're always like sitting by the star, but you're sitting in the middle of Hollywood Boulevard.
Oh, correct.
And it's disgusting.
That is not, that's not for the faint of heart.
No.
But neither is this business.
No,
You know,
you're right.
The cesspool of this business.
They did a number on
That's right.
Trump Star. Have you seen that?
I have not.
Oh, people
Oh,
have
really?
gone. Have you seen it?
They've gone to town on it?
Oh, it's got to be hundreds of people. There's no way one person could be responsible for the amount of damage. And it looks like there's been acid involved
Oh,
and
wow.
pickaxes.
Oh,
and I mean,
my
it is.
God.
Oh,
It's a mess.
I guess I'm
my.
not terribly surprised, but
Yeah.
I think I
Okay.
just saw an article that the city was finally like, we're going to have to remove it. It's a big hole in the ground now.
Oh, boy.
Now.
well, we're doing voices.
I just heard my voice there, which
Sounded
doesn't always
great.
happen. Do people imitate you? Do you have people who do impressions of you?
Negative. Actually, there is one young comedian who does impressions, very good impressions.
Matt Friend,
What's his name?
Tall.
Matt.
insanely
Yes.
tall.
We
Yes.
just had him
We
on.
just had him on.
He came up to me. I think he lives in Soho or around. Naomi and I are downtown in New York, and he came up to and said, "Hey, nice to meet you." And I'm like, "Hey, nice to meet you too."
Yeah.
And he said, "I do impressions." And it turns out he did one before, and I think it was Kimmel or somebody else had forwarded it to me, and I gave him a critique back on it.
Okay, because it was him doing you.
It was him doing my character on the morning show, Corey Ellison.
Okay.
Specific.
So him doing Corey.
Yeah, correct.
Played by you.
Exactly, because there is no Billy here. You
I
see,
know that.
Dax.
I know.
I transform.
No,
with
we're
each.
here for
And-
Billy and
Well,
Billy only.
Yeah, Billy's boring. Boring Billy. That's,
Oh, boring Billy. You had disco as a kid?
that's correct.
And,
that was
and
from my
boring
dad.
Billy, I guess.
And
was the
boring
other
Billy
one.
as an adult. Actually, that's a good way to be an adult, I think.
All right. So now, I as you arrived here today, did you have any fear that I would tell this story that I always tell about you? You must.
I did
have.
not.
It didn't
No,
even cross
because
your
I thought,
mind.
why would you do that?
Yeah, it's so inappropriate. He would
Yeah.
never do that.
No.
But he's gonna.
I'm not gonna because I know you don't want
What
me
does
to. But
500 million streams mean?
It means a lot of
know.
people are going to listen to this story.
Yeah.
That's the amount of tributaries that feed the Amazon. That's it. 500 million streams.
Because this is a green
space.
I see. Okay, good.
We're off grid. I one time had the rare honor of hearing Billy make love.
Whoa.
And I'm just
To
here
myself.
to say, I want to keep it as
Wow.
clean and not offensive to Billy as
Okay.
possible, but I've never, ever, ever heard someone receive that much pleasure in my
I'm-
life. I felt very inept and
Yeah.
insecure. And I have thought about
I'm
it.
already
I've
impressed.
thought
I'm
about it
convinced
many,
there were
many
other people
times.
in the house that was not coming from
sound-
my vicinity.
Oh,
The
this is
calls of pleasure. I just was like,
exciting.
when's this going to end? But anyways, when I saw Billy, I just had to tell him,
Sure.
I think about that often. And that
Yeah.
was 20 years ago.
Yep, it was
Yeah.
about 20
It
years
was about
ago.
20 years ago.
That's why he's been in the gym ever since. He's trying to compete.
And still, Kristen's never made noises like I heard some 20 years ago.
Good for you. You
sure
don't
they
need to
weren't-
take
Are
that.
you sure they weren't complaints?
No,
No.
Oh my God. I was like, I should bring them water. I'm
They
worried
sound
about everyone's
dehydrated.
hydration.
Exciting for that person.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, let's talk about Mansetta, New York. Is that what it's called?
Very close. Manhasset.
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 Wow,
That,
when you pronounce it, I now realize it sounds like a bunk version of Manhattan. Like, oh, you guys did Manhattan, we're going to do Manhasset.
my suspicion is they're all drawn from Native American tribes in the area.
Stolen.
makes
Maybe
sense.
this is my thought. It hadn't occurred to me before,
Uh-huh.
but there
Yeah.
are quite a few places in this country where the names originated before we got here.
Yeah.
And I suspect
right.
Manhattan, Manhasset,
Yeah.
maybe in that
Huh.
family.
Where is it? Manhasset.
That is on the North Shore of Long Island, exit 36, I think, or so, about 30 minutes outside of the city. My dad was selling textiles
Okay.
in the late 60s, early 70s in Manhattan. So he would take the train.
And when you say textiles, big bolts of fabric? Or,
from North Carolina. My dad was from North Carolina. The town that he grew up was called Henderson, North Carolina.
Okay.
It's about 30, 40 minutes north of Durham.
Mhm.
At Raleigh, Durham. And my grandfather was vice president of marketing for Harriet Henderson. And so my dad wanted to, I guess, go out on his own. So he went with a competing firm,
Oh,
Burlington.
any relation to the Burlington Coat
Coat
Factory?
Factory.
I believe there is a
Yeah.
relation. You'll
Okay.
have to look.
Wow.
I don't know the precise one,
Okay.
but
So
there was
many facts.
quite a bit of yarn coming out of North Carolina. And
Yeah.
so, my dad would sell the cotton to the garment district in Manhattan.
Now, did Grandpa, was he charmed by that? Did he say, oh, my son has pluck?
There was almost nothing my grandfather was charmed by.
Okay.
My grandfather, he was a fascinating guy. He was extremely cantankerous.
Okay.
And
Okay.
Pops, we called him Pops.
Uh-huh.
And
He was angry.
he, from the time I met him,
Uh-huh.
I don't. My grandmother Dee, who died the day I graduated high school,
Hmm.
was an absolute angel. She was the greatest. Priscilla was her name.
Ooh, where'd D come
tolerant.
from?
Well, I'm not sure. It's a great question. It was D and Pops,
oh,
but I don't know why. Because both of my parents were only children, so they didn't have grandchildren before us. They were the names that they went with. But it's a good question. I'll ask my mom. But when my grandmother died, my grandfather was a widower, and I was going to school now 45 minutes away from him.
At UNC Chapel Hill.
Great
Chapel Hill.
school. I love
Great
Chapel
school, great
Hill.
campus.
Yes.
Tar Heels?
Tar Heels, yes. Well
Jordan?
done, Dax, yes.
Now we're getting
He left,
somewhere.
unfortunately, 2 years or a year before I got there. So we did not have the Jordan era teams. And then after I left, we won the championship, I think, a year later or 2 years
Oh.
later.
So you were kind of a
Didn't have,
rebuild period.
there was a rebuild. We were a rebuild period.
Okay.
And-
You got Jordan there.
no,
He followed Jordan,
Oh.
right? Jordan
It's
came
the
before
opposite
you.
of what I wanted.
Jordan did come before.
Yeah,
Okay.
he kind of followed Jordan.
Okay.
Yeah.
That reminds me of another story, but I'll save that one. So my grandfather, he took it upon himself to say, we're going to have lunch every week
Oh,
at the same restaurant.
Top of the hill.
It was not top of the hill. It was the Ratskeller,
I don't know
which is sort of underground and was a restaurant when he was at Chapel Hill in the 40s and was a restaurant when my dad was at Chapel Hill in the 60s.
Wow.
and your dad's a third.
My dad's the third, my brother's the fourth.
Oh.
Okay, so a lot of
and-
tradition happening here.
There was there certainly was for a while. Actually, I did Finding Your Roots, which was
Skip.
with Skip, which is incredible. Have you done that?
I did it.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. I mean, it's a very unique experience. I confess, the way that I processed it when he showed me the family tree at the end, which dated back to Charlemagne in 700 something, whatever,
Yeah, in
France,
Gaul.
Yeah.
which means essentially I come from a long line of bureaucrats because they all filled out the paperwork. Marriage certificates, death certificates, birth certificates.
Yeah.
That's how he can trace all that stuff.
You're
Oh,
right.
yeah.
So
yeah.
I didn't feel any particular pride.
Did he say that's the farthest back he's been able to get someone? That feels
No, and it turns out,
700?
yeah, it turns out Charlemagne, most people are a descendant of Charlemagne.
Like Genghis Khan.
Yeah, there is.
Like a significant percentage.
I
of the
felt great
population.
about it until I looked it up. It's like, oh, you're one of 600 million.
Yeah.
You know, like the tree of people of Europeans coming from Charlemagne. But I did, because both of my parents were only children, and I didn't have aunts and uncles and cousins and stuff. There wasn't much history that was shared
Right.
between us. So
You were curious.
I was very
Yeah.
curious.
Yeah.
And so I also thought, it would be just a wonderful opportunity for my family to have,
That's very cool.
and trust me, it was replete with bad stories,
Oh, good.
They're Americans through and through. The first people that got here were like in late 17th century, early 18th century.
Yeah.
And there were, slave owners, and there were Congress people. There were people who fought on both sides of the Civil War. Really
Some traitors.
interesting. People who were in POW camps. He showed me a picture of
wow.
one of the POW camps.
Oh, wow.
Confederate people who were held in the Union Confederate camps. And so, I've always, I don't know, I'm thinking this is why I inherited it, but my parents and grandparents seemed to insist that civics was a part of your responsibility as an American.
Yeah.
So, I was on the student council and that kind of stuff. And as a Boy Scout, and
You are.
I was.
Okay.
Not a great one.
You
Sure.
got a couple badges.
More than a couple
Okay,
badges. Thanks.
great.
I particularly like knot tying.
Do you have the knife?
I had all the gear,
Yeah,
of
okay,
course,
okay,
and
great.
I'm sure it's in a box somewhere,
Yeah.
and I would love to find it.
Skip would like to get his hands on that stuff.
Yeah, well, I
Mail it on over.
don't know about that. I'm not convinced of it.
I don't want to do too long on it, but here's the other thing. So it's like you're gonna go in there and you're gonna find out you're related to someone's famous, right? Historically famous,
Right,
To which I'm like, I don't feel any ownership over it. Like I'm not proud of.
right,
And then they hit you with your family owns slaves.
yeah.
And then conversely, like, I don't feel guilty about that. Like, I don't know what to do with that info. I didn't own slaves.
You didn't, did
No.
you? No.
But it's put on you as if like you got to now process like, fuck, I come from people who own slaves. Like, well,
I think of it similarly, but not the same.
okay.
Which is, if you want to understand a bit of what this strange experiment of America is called, which is so different than most other countries.
Yeah.
There's
Agreed.
not a pluralistic democracy that has a GDP like we do.
Yes.
A very interesting, strange thing that has all sorts of consequences that we're seeing right now.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is about trying to understand, well, what is it people were trying to do, maybe collectively or separately? Why were they fighting about it? Why did we have to come together about it? Why did we have wars about it?
Yeah.
And so I think for me, that was, and my son and I were talking about it quite a bit during the lockdown and stuff. And it was a way to sort of study what this country in general, writ large, is trying to do by focusing on your lineage. So
yeah, I like that.
I didn't feel a responsibility to any of the great stuff.
Or the guilt of the.
But I did feel attendant to being an American.
Okay.
And for whatever reason, I think that's important.
I wish I had
love
talked to you
that.
before I did it, because your
Dude, that was
pitch
a
of it just
beautiful
now
way.
is so succinct.
Yeah.
It's like you wrote it a month ago.
Well,
that was a
I did.
beautiful
That's
way.
my thing is I write stuff, I memorize them, I put on other people's clothes, and I pretend it's myself.
But now back to Grandpa taking you
Yes,
to the
the
restaurant.
restaurant.
Oh yeah. So he was angry. He was a pretty impressive amateur athlete in high school in North Carolina. He set records in track and field, in football, and in boxing, records that stood for 30 or 40 years
Oh
and
wow!
stuff.
So he was
And
a tough.
He
son
was
of
a tough
bitch.
guy. And then he went to World War II and was in the bombers. He was in the radio guy, and the thing blew up in his ear and made him deaf.
Oh,
And but I'm not sure if like his just general vibe was anger.
yeah.
But he was tough on my dad. My dad was an only child. And so he did not take kindly, back to your question before, about my dad working for a competitor.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so those two had
Would they get into it at like Christmas and stuff and family?
they got into it all the time, but it was a lot of passive aggressive kind of stuff. And when I was at school going to lunch with him, then I was in the middle, because my dad, he wasn't terribly reliable financially. He was a fascinating guy, totally charming.
Is he with us?
He is
still?
not with us. He
Okay.
died in 2005.
Okay.
The same age as my grandmother, died at 63.
Oh,
They
wow.
both smoked, and my dad liked Pall Malls, and
My dad 62 Vantage menthol 100s.
yeah. So like his whole body went cancer, and at once. He didn't want to mention the lung cancer part of it, because then that would mean he had some responsibility
Yes.
in it. But, So he would always talk about the blood and the brain and the bone and like all the other ones, but it was also lung cancer. And he was really a lovely person, and
Big dreamer.
I liked being around him. Huge dreamer.
Yeah.
There was no obstacle that couldn't be overcome. Just frame things a little differently. But that also meant he was kind of divorced from reality.
Mhm.
And it also, I think, stemmed from his father being punitive towards him growing up. My dad felt like he had to hit the jackpot in order to be a success, because my grandfather's way of loving was to toughen you up. I mean,
Yeah.
every lunch with me started with, "All right, what are you screwing up now?"
Oh, wow.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah. Luckily, the list was long.
It didn't help, by the way, that my first semester I had a 1.7 GPA. And then I had to learn a few things about college. Like, if you don't go to a class, you should probably drop it officially.
Yeah.
At least be ahead of it.
Rather than taking the zero.
Yeah.
And you do that a couple of
Nice.
times. Doesn't matter if you make A's in the other ones. The
That's
average works
right.
out. But my grandfather did that to my father growing up. And I think it planted the seed that my dad was never good enough. So my dad had the inclination to pay him back
To be spectacular.
with major success. I think that was internally what was going
Yeah.
on with my dad. But that never happens to people, right?
Yeah.
You just don't hit the jackpot.
No.
No.
You have to grind out of life, and occasionally a door opens, you get a ray of sunshine, and it closes, and you go through the
Jackpots
winter.
happen, but with the odds of the lottery.
Precisely.
Yeah. So they happen. It's just you're looking at tens of millions to
Empirically
one.
speaking, yes, you go, all right,
Yeah.
I've got about 20 more million tries and then I'm going to hit it.
Right.
And my dad, each time he pulled things, he's like, here we go.
This is the one.
Yeah.
I know it. Anybody else here have coins? And so his whole thing, anybody else here have coins? Like that is how we grew up.
Uh-huh.
And so the lights would go out, and in the dark you'd hear, oh, damn it. My mom would go, Tommy? And he would go, the mail, his postal system. I sent that dang check. Oh, they know.
Never took responsibility.
Never took responsibility.
Yeah,
It was very difficult for him to take responsibility. So consequently, when my grandfather and I were having lunch, often my dad hadn't paid the bills. Well, I'm going to place part of the blame of this on my father,
Okay.
my 1.7 GPA, which is when he told me he had pre-registered, paid the tuition, so I was pre-registered, that was in fact not true.
Oh.
So when I went to pre-registration in order to get the classes that you might attend as a freshman, like anything after 9, they were all gone.
Okay.
So I ended up with a slate of 8 a.m. tough classes, and I was making an adjustment. Well, that happens twice a year. And there were lots of other bills to pay.
Yeah.
And my dad was constantly saying he had paid them. And my grandfather then would be like, my grandfather was extremely reliable.
Right.
And he was there for lunch, laying on the horn,
Yeah.
every day. Every Wednesday or Thursday, whenever it fit into my schedule.
This is the exact same dynamic, by the way. My Papa Bob worked at Wonder Bread Bakery, 45 years, saved everything.
That was
he
your
made.
grandfather.
My grandfather.
Right.
My dad's dad. Played by the rules, plodded along, and was safe. And my dad was a car salesman. He started many, many businesses. He went bankrupt many times.
Yes.
He owed my grandpa money his whole life.
Sure. I mean,
But then
Same with
my
my
dad
dad.
would make a ton of money and start buying a lot of stuff, and he would never pay anything back. So I
dad never made any money.
Yeah.
That would be the difference. Yes.
Your dad never made any
He was a hustler, so he knew how to survive enough.
because he was a salesman of fabric, but also he was a bookie too, right?
Here's what happened, I think.
Okay.
And again, this is conjecture on my part
Yeah.
because I didn't get to ask my dad this, but my younger brother was very close with my dad. And I think my dad was making up for lost time with my younger brother. And they became very close when my younger brother was in college in Austin, and they would have lunch every week.
Okay.
And he intimated at a certain point about correspondence to organized crime at a certain point in our lives. That being said, when you were in the garment district in New York in the late 60s, early 70s, it was replete with mob guys.
Okay.
And my dad thought they were awesome.
Sure.
Yeah.
So he liked to dress like them.
Yeah.
He liked to gamble.
Yeah.
He was a bookie. He was a loan shark. He carried a gun,
Yeah, great.
Wow.
This
He
is
took
wonderful.
my mom to the funeral of one of the mob bosses. And my mom, who was like a debutante from South Florida,
That's what I was going to ask.
was
What's-
like-
yeah.
Tommy, what are we doing here?
Whose funeral
Yeah.
is this?
My dad's like, this is great. We got Junior over there, Bingo Slim Jims over there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's a wise guy funeral, hun.
He was a wise guy funeral.
Yeah.
And so I think that started my dad's relationship with this sort of alternate economic system.
Mm-hmm.
So what reminded me is you have a story about him taking you to something, but he's got to stop and collect
Yes,
Someone owes him
soccer
money.
practice, right?
soccer practice.
Yes.
But he's got to also pick up his dude,
That's right. He's heavy, Mr. O.
Mr.
right.
O.
Yeah. After the second time my parents got divorced because they were divorced, then remarried to each other, then divorced
Oh,
again.
wow.
Yeah, how long was the gap where they were not?
It was
married?
like 3. I think they were divorced when I was 6, and then they remarried each other when I was 9.
Okay.
Divorced again when I was 12.
Oh, wow.
What a ride.
So he was, yeah. And, my mom and dad adored each other. They
Right.
just simply adored each other.
Yeah.
There was just, my dad could not
Get
keep
it.
it together.
yeah.
And so he had he was divorced for the second time now and had a singles apartment in Dallas, Texas.
Because really quick, you live in New York till 8, and then at 8 you moved to Texas.
we moved down to South Florida at 6 because my mom was from there after they got divorced the first time.
Okay.
So we were in Miami.
Okay.
And I went to 3 different schools there, first, second, and third grade. And then not because I was kicked out of them
No,
or
I would
because
never
of my
think
grades.
that.
I could feel
I would never
the
think
judgment there.
that.
No, there just needed different schools for each of those grades. And then we moved to Dallas where the new business opportunities were. He was opening a company. I think this one was Coffee Elite, which they sold. It was a coffee additive that they would sell to like prisons to turn 1 pound of coffee into 10 pounds of
Oh,
coffee.
wow.
It was like cutting Coke.
It's like
it was the baby laxative
it was
of
cutting
coffee.
Exactly.
10% pure
Baby laxative. Well, Coffee Elite was not so elite. It was just a front for his booking operation.
And would he get you excited like he was too? Because like when my dad had new business, it would like we'd be the first person he pitched, and I'd be like, we're gonna be rich.
It was the inflatable ice chest, the Braccabrella.
It's good products.
Wow.
He did have an interest in marketing, so he would try to buy the patents for products that had underperformed in the marketplace and try to remarket them in a different way. He was just never successful at it from a financial perspective.
Sure, if we're evaluating it by how much money
If
it
we're talking
generated.
about quantifiably whether or not you can pay your bills, or she would say make your nut, he did not.
He did not make his nut off.
But he always thought that he was going to hit a home run. I mean, to the point he got cancer when he was about, I think 61, went into remission. And at that point, he realized that I was having some success in my career. So he was always wanting to partner on a new business venture.
Oh, boy.
And, I would send him checks from time to time just to, if he needed to, make ends meet or whatever. But I was like, Dad, I'm not a business guy. Not saying and if I was, I would not be in business with you.
Right. Even with my minimal acumen in business, I know
it
not
does
to
not
partner
feel
up
like
with you.
I'm thinking of the red and the black in the test. And it feels like you're mostly in the red.
You've got them flipped.
I think that's a stop
bad,
sign for
yeah.
business. So he was often asking if I wanted to be a part of a business. And I said, by this point, after he had gone into remission, he had this, to his way of thinking, or the way that he would tell the story, he had somebody at the Vatican who had endorsed do you remember those old box sets of cassettes where,
like self-help ones?
It could be self-help. It could be where you would buy a set of 40 cassettes and they would be in like a briefcase. And so his was the Bible, Old Testament and New Testament in Spanish that he was going to sell to Central and South American countries because it was endorsed by the Vatican. And so I was like, so you're taking advantage of people's faith. And you know what? I don't think that's something I am going to partner with you on that. But since you've never paid me back for any of the money I've given before, how about I structure a loan for you? And so I structured a loan for him. He set the terms. The first payment came due. He defaulted on the loan, declared bankruptcy, listed me as one of the creditors, and died 6 months later.
Oh my God, no.
And when I got the letter, he was like, that doesn't mean a thing.
Also, it speaks to his optimism that
That's
he
what it
was
was.
taking
I
the
know.
time to file bankruptcy with 6 months left to like just let it rip. Like you're gonna die. Who gives a shit about the collectors?
Well, even when he was in hospice, I remember he was like withered, and you could barely hear a whisper. But if you could make it out, he was saying, "I'm gonna beat it." And you're like, "Oh,
man,
buddy."
Yeah.
I mean, it's just whatever he needed to hold on to.
Of course. You're laughing now, but were you laughing then, or were you like so angry about
It's a great question because I was angry when I got to be an adult. But when I was younger, the times that were scary were like the drunk driving times, where my brother at 13 or 14 had to take over the wheel. Those things were not fun. But the guns and all, and the colorful people and the new ventures, we went to flea market after flea market. We were always finding these new products. There was a constant optimism. And occasionally he would, be on the right side of the line as a bookie. He was not a very good bookie, which is really bonkers because it seems like that's a lock to play the house in those. In any case, I think it's probably he's gambling on the
You
side.
just make
as
sure
well.
the bets are equal.
Yeah, exactly. If he made anything, well, back to the jackpot thing. I made 10 grand this year. I'll put it all in red.
Yeah.
You know, let's turn it. Why not turn it into 20?
Yeah.
Or lose it all. So there was a kind of, he had like a riot shotgun next to his bed, and his instructions were, all right, don't go near that.
Right.
Right.
There was no, so it didn't feel like totally dangerous in the
Yeah.
way. But as I got older, obviously, and was in a relationship myself, I began to see how his lack of self-reflection and his inability to take responsibility was not a virtue in a mentor.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
We are supported by Alexa Plus. All right, let me tell you about something I'm genuinely excited to talk about, the all-new Alexa Plus. Look, we're all juggling a million things these days, and this thing is designed to actually make your life easier. It's like having a conversation with someone who really gets what you need. Picture this. You're planning a night out, and instead of opening 12 different apps, you just have one conversation with Alexa, and it handles everything. Dinner reservations, entertainment, the works. It learns your style and puts thousands of services at your fingertips. What I love about this concept is how natural it feels. You're not barking commands, you're just talking. And it works across your compatible devices, Echo, Fire TV, and more. It's your all-new, smart, proactive AI assistant. And honestly, the idea of having AI that actually anticipates what you need, that sounds pretty amazing to me. Check it out at amazon.com/new Alexa. Also, you are paying the ultimate price, which is like you're moving nonstop, it sounds like.
Oh, yeah. I went to 9 different schools by the time I finished high school.
Yeah.
Right. So you were probably buffeted by having 2 brothers. You're in the middle. That's
Definitely.
like probably what gets you. If you're an only child in this
I
scenario,
agree.
you're probably pretty fucked up. But you're in your little.
I agree. And the 3 of us, for sure, we were posse. Yeah.
And you just
Yeah.
look at each other and you're like, all right, this is batshit crazy, right? And as long as they both agree this is batshit crazy, somehow we're good now.
It definitely helped. And, we all had our different way of developing our understanding of our father later.
Yes.
But when we were younger, we just revered him.
Yeah.
I found a journal went from like 1981. I must have been, I guess, 12 or something. And in it, and I'm talking about how my dad's a winner, how being a winner is the most important thing in the world.
Yeah.
And I'm so proud of my dad because he is the ultimate winner.
Yeah.
He just had that energy about him.
Yeah.
I do think there's a moment though that people hit, which you obviously hit at some point, and I hit it recently with someone in my life who was like sort of a mentor when I was younger, and it was like, oh my God, this person's so great. And then you hit adulthood and you realize the reason they were so great is because they were your age mentally. And then once you
Right.
pass them, you can start seeing
What a great
like,
observation.
yeah,
Yeah.
like, actually, that's just very immature. That's really, that's very childlike.
Right.
And then that's very disappointing to
It is.
feel.
Right. And I mean, that's perfectly said. I totally agree. Also, too, when you get to be the age they were when they were parenting you and you realize, oh, I don't think I would have done that. That seems like that's a really risky thing to do. Obviously, it was a different period of time.
Yeah.
They were smoking in the car, no seatbelts.
Drinking and driving was
With
fine.
drinking
My
and
dad
driving,
did it. It was
we had
fine.
a-
Yeah.
Cooler in the back seat, feeding a Miller High Life or whatever.
Yeah.
While the windows are up. My poor older brother, he never smoked, but boy, was he exposed to a lot of secondhand smoke. Because I smoked when I first started acting, just out of nerves and because I guess my parents smoked. And my younger brother smoked too. But my older brother, he was just around it all the time.
Yeah. He might as well have just started smoking.
100%.
Why not?
But I think that considering how young they were when they were making
Yeah.
these mistakes, you have both a kind of appreciation and empathy for them, and also it's exasperating.
Yeah.
How were you dealing with the starting new schools nonstop?
It was extremely helpful that my older brother, Tommy, because we were a year apart in school. He was a year and a half older, but he was a junior when I was a sophomore, and he always set the table. So
Was he a stud?
he entered St. Thomas. Well, we both entered St. Thomas Aquinas in 1984, I think.
Graduated
So I was a
86,
sophomore.
right?
Exactly. And he was a junior.
Okay.
And so he entered the school as a junior and was the senior class president as a senior.
Wow, in a
he
year.
could find his footing.
He knew. And so when I walked into the classroom, it was always like, "Oh, you're Tommy's brother."
Okay, wonderful.
Mm.
Was he handsome and tough?
He was, yes, both of those.
Both of those
And
things.
he,
Oh,
he was
what a
the
blessing.
catcher on the baseball team.
Oh, you had it made.
Just walked around. And, he did that when my career started to have some success.
Yeah.
He was working as a publicist at MGM because he had been tending bar on the Upper East Side. Mad Hatter is the name of the place. I waited tables there in the summer. And a woman who was a regular there said, "You're not working here anymore. You're going to come to MGM and be my assistant," just by the force of his own personality, And so he starts as a publicist. And when I would go to these premieres or I'd have some event, Tommy would be there bulldozing the crowd. He's like, "I'm taking care of Billy here. You want to talk to that
that's
person? Don't talk to that person."
Oh, fun.
And he's just, that kind of guy. So that was one thing that really helped. The other thing was because it started very early in our lives, adaptability and this sort of carnival life felt very familiar.
Well, right. What it sounds like is you either adjust and you can do it, or it destroys you.
Yeah, exactly. And I think your point about having siblings, the three of us were aligned. We really looked after each other.
Yeah.
And certainly my mom as the consistent one who had to make the money and go to PTA meetings and, be involved in, back to the civics thing. She was involved in the community.
Yeah.
She did the lion's share of mentoring and responsibility.
So I grew up very similarly. And then I lived in this first apartment I had for 10 or 11 years. And I lived in
Out
the
here.
next house for 16 years and never wanted to leave. Are you a freak?
I've had the apartment that I've had in New York, I've had for 20 years.
Right. Were you a freak? Like I was a freak about my bedroom. Like my bedroom had to be the same.
I did not renovate until I was in a relationship with Naomi. Like occasionally I would do things like build bunk beds for my son or something like that, or try to fix all of the problems myself or install the appliances myself. And I did not want things changing. And I think at a certain point, Naomi realized that there was a slight indentation in the couch where I watched my baseball games for long enough to put an indentation in the couch. When she would walk into my apartment, it was like her eyes would bleed. She's really interested in design. And frankly, my son and I were the occupants of that apartment. It was for us, The reason we had a couch like that is because we like watching movies together. And so it all seemed incredibly comfortable. And a lot of the stuff that I bought, I had this thing, I'm somewhat sentimental. And sometimes it kind of sneaks up on me in the ways that I'm sentimental. And like I said, I had a very close relationship with my grandfather. Yeah. And when he passed away, nobody really had room for a lot of this stuff except for me. Mm-hmm. So I took the share and put some of it in storage and then kept some of it in my apartment. And they had these beautiful lamps, like glass blown lamps, and they reminded me of my grandparents' house and of him. And they were just kind of romantic looking, but they were sitting in my closet in my new apartment, 20 years ago or whatever. And at a certain point, I said, I think I should hang these on the wall.
Sure.
And so I got some.
Of course you should.
But they're not a sconce.
Put them into
okay.
They weren't plugged in. They were
the decoration.
It was and I realized if you looked at it at a certain angle, that you could imagine those houses, those lamps in a house, in a 2-story house, That one might be in the den downstairs, and that one might be back up in the bedroom. So I think I was trying to bring in some of my, well,
interesting.
to everybody else, they were like, what in the fuck are those lamps doing on the wall?
Yeah.
know?
What are they doing up there? Do you turn those on?
No, not the actor. He's the lamps guy.
Do you find that you read up on the wall there and you need a lamp right there? Is that
But I did have this idea of getting an electrician to put in plugs
Yes,
so that
I
I
would
could
love
put them in, but I never got around to that. So to your point, I wanted for my son to have some stability and consistency.
Yeah. It's funny having kids makes you recalibrate.
I'm sure I wanted it for myself too.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Did you pay any price for all that moving?
I would say I benefited, an
benefited.
enormous amount.
When do you start acting in there? In high school?
Yes, but even before that, actually.
Okay.
At like camp, somebody would say, anytime somebody said, does anybody in this class want to put on a costume? I'd be like, yep, I'll do that. That's not a problem. That one's for the new guy. Like I was the new guy trying to fit in and class clown was my angle.
Nice.
And so anytime I got a part in anything, I was happy to humiliate myself for it.
Did it do anything though, as far as like preventing you from creating deep friendships?
No, the actually thing I was going to say was I have some incredibly lasting friendships from like the time I was born to like my oldest best friend, Rayfield Bemperod, 4th grade, Dallas, Texas. We're still extremely tight. Had dinner with him 2 weeks ago in New York. And through high school, still have, fantastic friends from high school and college.
Because back then, it's not like you moved ultimately to Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
You can't call your buddies in Texas because it's too much money to make it.
Sure.
Yeah, like I don't think young people realize that like you couldn't talk on the phone. It's too expensive.
I became possessive of those friendships. I
Yes.
realized that people around me had been friends since 1st grade. And when I started to see that, I would reach out to Rafe. When we reconnected, in high school, and then when I was in college, and subsequently thereafter, and you'd have periods of time where you'd build different friendships. But it was really important to me to return to those friendships. So in a way, it did build a skill of attending to your friendships in whatever way you can. You know?
Yeah, that's
Well, it was going to
important.
require effort if it was going to be maintained, and you did. If
That
you just
was.
they've always lived next door, you don't have to put a ton of.
And it also gave me an incredible opportunity to live different kinds of ways in America. There were times when things were great and we were living in a nice house somewhere, and there were times when things were not so great and it was a little precarious.
Yeah.
And between Texas and Florida and North Carolina and New York, I've lived in a lot of
Cultures.
different ways in this country.
Yeah.
And I think it's a beautiful country in that way, and to get to experience the different kinds of people in that way, albeit, not always great for a child growing up or whatever, it definitely had its virtues.
Yeah.
And so I think that's another reason I have incredible affection for this place and the people in it.
How do you pick North Carolina? Just because of grandpa and dad?
Yeah, exactly.
Because if I had left New York and then I was in Texas and then Fort Lauderdale, I feel like I would be like, I need to get back to New York.
Well, it's
immediately.
interesting. We left New York when I was 6, and we were on Long Island, so I only have kind of, frosty memories of it.
Picture memories.
Yeah, but it wasn't like I didn't feel like in possession of New York at the time. We weren't in Manhattan. I did it was like another kind of place.
Yeah.
And if you go to Carolina, you're going to have all sorts of Carolina swag up in your house. And so my grandfather and my dad had signs, indoctrinating you, the propaganda.
Yeah.
If God wasn't
yeah.
a Tar Heel, then why is the sky Carolina blue? that kind of stuff.
Nice,
Exactly.
nice.
So-
yeah, good
The
point
South,
too.
we
By the
just
way,
love
great
it.
point. And the
Hard to beat that.
and so there was a kind of mystique surrounding that university. And my brother ended up going to Texas Tech. And so it was sort of left to me to carry that tradition.
Yes.
And truthfully, I did not get in on my own merits. I was a part of a legacy group.
Okay.
I know full well how this country works, frankly, on the legacy bullshit.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're a
Because I am a
recipient.
benefactor of it. And it really started to haunt me at school.
It did.
Because 85% of the student body was in state. And so
Yeah.
getting in from out of state was really difficult. And I was a good student and I was very active. You know, I was in sports. I was on the student council. I did all the things that
You're a good
you should
boy.
do. I was a well-rounded student. Exactly. And, but still definitely not good
It's
enough.
so hard to get into that school out of
So
state.
hard to get
Yeah.
in. And because my dad and granddad went there, and because my dad knew somebody at the admissions thing, I'm certain the reason that I got in.
Okay.
And I did not like that at all.
You
I
didn't?
felt like a fraud when it started to really dawn on me.
Oh, really?
And I think that was a part of me branching out and saying I'm going to cut my own path as an actor, and that's why I got my master's. I paid for it.
This is fascinating. So, but I can understand where you weren't floundering there, though, right?
No, I was thriving actually. I mean, I loved it.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing you focused in on. Like, I would feel that way if I got there and then I was like, I was an embarrassment and I wasn't
Right.
rising to the level everyone else was on. But if I was thriving, I guess I would be like,
I was
well,
grateful for it.
Yeah.
But I think I realized it as well that there was another candidate out there that was probably more qualified that didn't get it.
There was some injustice.
Wow.
And so yeah, I mean that I saw it up close and personal. So when I decided to go in and get my master's,
Yeah.
I was mostly hedging my bets because I realized that there was nobody in my family that was in the entertainment business. I didn't have any reason to think that you could actually have a career in it. And most of the mentors in my life were teachers. And so I thought I would really love a life as a teacher.
Uh-huh.
And I really love performing. So I would love a life as a teacher of acting.
Oh, interesting. So when you went and got your master's, you were mostly thinking, well, I'll teach acting.
I was hedging my bets. I was like,
Yeah.
if I would like to act professionally, but since nobody does,
Yes. Again, you're rebelling now against your dad, which is like, I'm going to be ultra realistic.
correctly, I'm
Yes.
going to be responsible.
Yeah.
I wanted to pay for my for the applications, $50 fee here, $100 fee there.
Yeah.
I wanted to drive to the auditions. I wanted to get in on my own merits if I got in anywhere.
Yeah.
And when I got into school at NYU, that felt like an enormous accomplishment.
Yeah.
In the
yeah,
way
yeah.
that Carolina did not feel like an enormous accomplishment,
Yeah.
even though I still had to survive at school and do as well as I could.
Yeah.
So that was a big part of me kind of establishing my own sense of self, I think.
You were in the Tisch school?
Yes, it's called the grad acting program because the undergraduate is the Tisch school.
Okay.
And they're all a part of Tisch.
Okay.
But the undergraduate has like 3 or 4 separate acting components
Yeah.
to it. And the graduate program is a conservatory style program where there's 20 people in each class
Yes.
and you have 3 years and you just spend day and night studying voice, speech, text, movement.
Yeah.
Kristen went to Tisch undergrad.
Yes.
And she did Alexander technique where
Alexander,
you're like
yeah,
breathing
Alexander
into
technique.
people's mouths and the
You're
young
not
men are
breathing-
wearing
oh my
sweatpants.
God.
You're
and
not,
people have
you're not breathing into people's
boners.
mouths,
Yeah.
man.
You're
I don't know
not.
where you
He
got
says
that.
it every day,
It is
and
not
it drives me nuts.
True.
It's
That is
not
not
true.
what you do with the Alexander technique.
Oh.
It's just a way to find a neutral spot so you can process air through your lungs
Sure.
and create a good, reliable sound with your voice.
A nice
And
consistent.
listen to his voice.
It's one of the best.
So there you
Alexander
go.
technique's really worked out.
So when
Breathe into each other's mouths.
I know.
in sweatpants.
Actually,
and they're-
well, the sweatpants is dead right. And we
Yeah.
had this incredible Alexander teacher whose name will come to me in a second. But he had like 4 acolytes. Is that the right word? The people who followed underneath him.
Mhm.
And so you would typically not get with the grand master of Alexander. You'd spend most of your time with the other person, but occasionally you'd get a session with him. And sometimes he'll do table work where he'll try to like help you align to your spine. This is how you hold your body. You're trying to figure out how you naturally hold your body so you can find a more neutral place of starting and then build a
Yeah.
character from there.
Yeah.
And so he'll be like, doing some work on you and you're lying there kind of trying to readjust yourself and breathing. And he'll kind of listen to your breath. And he put his head on my chest at
There
one
we go.
point.
Now we're getting
And
somewhere.
then
No.
and then I hear
Oh,
No.
wow.
And I start laughing.
He
And
fell
so,
asleep.
And so the laughing from my thing woke him up and he goes, and take a breath in.
Oh, wow.
So it's even worse, Monica, than I said. It's going to sleep on each
It's
other while you're
not.
breathing in each
Listen,
other's mouths. It's like sleeping with each
First
other.
of all, I
We didn't breathe into each other's mouth.
There's no
You
breathing
did it
into
wrong,
each
man.
other's mouths. I also study theater, so I take some umbrage with this because I did not breathe into anyone's mouth. This is funny. My Rafe, that's his name, right?
Yep, you got it right.
My Rafe is Callie, and she actually is in marketing at Netflix, and she did the Jay Kelly trailer. This all circles
you're
back.
kidding.
Yes. But she brought up the other day that in one of my acting classes, I guess I have no memory of this, but I had to wear a mask, like a blank
Oh, yeah,
mask.
sure. Yeah. Mask work.
And mask work,
Sure,
yes.
that's mask work
Yeah.
101.
Neutral mask, we call
That's
that.
right. Yes. And we had to wear it around campus. Like
Oh,
we
no.
had to be
Wait, where was this?
University of Georgia.
Oh, wow. Gosh, so you're
I
a
know.
bulldog.
Yep.
Right.
Yes. And so she said, she was like, yeah, we
Can't imagine
But
doing
her
that in
mask
Georgia.
liked Alabama.
no.
Roll Tide.
The mask is
Yeah.
neutral.
It said Roll Tide up here.
That's the way to get killed at Georgia if you want to roll with it.
Tide.
But apparently she was like, no, we would try to find you on campus, like while you were walking around in your mask.
Because they wanted to
you had
laugh at you.
Yeah, and they wanted to like distract me, but I
Right.
had to like not pay attention and be
Challenge you.
neutral.
How could you
That's
not
hard.
remember
I have
walking
zero
around
memory.
campus with a mask
know.
on?
No, that's cute. I mean, that's like hazing stuff.
It is.
I mean, acting is already so humiliating.
Oh, it's so embarrassing. What a
It's not a bad idea in general to get you used to the idea of rejection.
That's true.
Which is a common denominator
For the
for us
rest
as
of your
actors for the rest
life.
of your life.
Yeah. Anyway, I was pretty impressed with myself because I was like, man, I was committed.
Yeah, you don't even
Absolutely.
remember. You were so in character, you weren't even imprinting memories.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It
Monica's
was so
brain was
neutral.
Oh,
offline.
Man, I do remember neutral
God.
mask work.
Okay, so
It's good stuff.
this is really great and a bit informative to my broader questions about your path. But you're not like hell-bent on being a professional actor.
I wasn't until the first day of acting school when you have something called showings where the incoming class does the monologues that they did to get into school.
Mhm.
And this is the first year, second year, and third year. The second year does scene work, and the third year does whatever they end up doing, whether it's a personal piece or scene work. And when I saw a collection of 60 other young people who were actually invested and interested in a craft,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw the shit that they were doing, I thought, oh no, that's exactly what I want to do.
Mm.
I just needed to be around people who were taking it seriously. Now, at the time, I was, yes, still like targeted to get my master's, et cetera, but there was no question that that day rung a bell in me.
Well, now it wasn't a pipe dream. It was a reality that was observable in all these other people. So
Exactly.
maybe it didn't seem so crazy.
That was it. That was it. And, you know, at Carolina, I wasn't a theater major, even though I did theater because I knew my dad and my grandfather would not accept that. So I was a speech communications major.
Ah.
And, you know, what the hell did that mean? You know, it meant you took class in broadcasting and marketing and, you know, a lot of different kinds of things, rhetoric. But they had a performance studies concentration. So I could take classes like oral interpretation of prose and poetry. And my dad thinks I'm doing marketing. But
Right.
meanwhile, I'm figuring out how to do like a James Joyce short story as a performance.
Oh,
I'm having a ball.
You're doing
this.
monologues,
And I'm
basically.
doing
Yeah.
monologues
Yeah.
and getting A's, most importantly, to make up for that not so stellar 1.7 GPA.
Yeah, that we started
trying to
with.
right the ship.
Yeah.
So I did a lot of performing, but and I also did work in the theater department there, where there were two teachers there, Susanna Reinhardt and Dee Dee Corvinus, who I took introduction to acting with them, and they were like, "You can sign up for whatever class you want. You have such an interest in this, and you have so much energy." And so I took the whole slew of classes in the acting department. And I did performances there. So I was around a lot of people, but we were undergraduates in a way that
And you're in North Carolina.
in
You're
North
pretty
Carolina, it wasn't,
removed.
you know, Playmakers has a great repertory theater and they produce really good work, but it wasn't the same kind of thing as seeing these hyper ambitious, focused, like obviously professionally talented people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Robin Weigert, who's a fantastic actor, she did this monologue that she wrote that was an imagined discussion between, I hope I'm getting it right, but I think it was Gertrude Stein and Pablo Picasso.
Whoa.
And she was like Meryl Streep. And she was in my class.
Yeah.
And I'd just never seen
inspiring,
anything like that. It was incredible.
So you graduate in 94 and then you get your first big Broadway plays 96.
94, actually, I
Oh,
got, it was about 6 months after I graduated school that I landed a part in a Tom Stoppard play.
Arcadia.
Yep.
Wow.
And that was at Lincoln Center.
Were you shocked to have success that quickly after graduating?
Definitely. And my, friends and colleagues made sure to make me feel like I should be shocked.
Yeah.
Everybody was extremely happy for me.
Now, I'm a Philistine, but I understand Tom Stoppard is what everyone has a boner for. Like all my friends that are super into acting, he's the dude. You've done a couple.
I have.
Yeah.
And he's, his writing is just unusual. He's got a fascinating mind. And he, English is his second language. Or maybe his third or fourth. I'm not sure. I think he was born in Czechoslovakia. I may be wrong about it, but I believe that's right. And his attendance to language it's just unusual. He thinks on different levels at the same time. So some of his plays, and he was actually there for rehearsals.
Wow.
Trevor Nunn was directing it, and I used to watch these tapes called Acting Shakespeare, I think it was. They were like VHS tapes that had the Royal Shakespeare Company, and Trevor Nunn was the youngest at that time, I think, artistic director of the Royal Shakespeare Company, talking about monologues. And it was like Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart, Anthony Hopkins, Bob Hoskins, Helen Mirren, like just badasses. And so all of a sudden, this guy that I was watching in high school talk about text and language and how to lift it and perform it and celebrate it was directing me in this Tom Stoppard play. And Tom Stoppard's there. So Tom Stoppard, back to the point about his use of language, he would, I'd go, I tried to say very little because I did not want to get fired. And I was like, sorry, Tom, is that a double entendre there? And you go, well, perhaps, or maybe a triple. Could be quadruple if you take the time.
What do I do with that, though?
It's incredible.
Wow.
I'm like, is that playable? He's like, no, definitely not. But if you were asking.
Oh my God.
I mean, just a brilliant, brilliant mind. And
Wow.
that character in particular, he's like this tutor to this 13-year-old math prodigy. And he wants to be Byron. So he's always like he thinks of himself, he's like, I'm a fucking tutor. And so like, he's got to make all of his jokes to himself. But the audience gets to share in that. So he's a great conduit for the audience, and he's a romantic figure. And then he dies saving her. So it's like, I mean, that's like winning the lottery, that part. You come out of school into the professional life as this hero, this incredibly articulate, beautifully dressed, Byronic hero.
Dangerous first hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely nowhere to go but down from there.
Yeah. I mean, that'll get you hooked.
We had a cast: Robert Sean Leonard, Victor Garber, Paul Giamatti, Jenny Dundas. There was just like fantastic actors up and down the line. So there was a great support system in it.
Now, when you're doing that and it's working, and obviously you're like, you're with Giamatti and all these people. It's heaven. Are you content, or are you like, I want to do movies? Where are we at, and like where we think is next, or were you even looking?
I wasn't
next?
thinking about that. No, the sort of training that I had, it implicitly or explicitly was suggesting that it might be a good idea to take as many different kinds of parts as possible, so that you will build some level of versatility to combat the periods of time where you are uncastable, which just happens, And so I was interested in the parts, and it didn't matter to me whether or not they were in film or on the stage. I discovered pretty quickly, though, that television scared me, because I had auditioned for, it was a news show, it was a pilot.
Okay.
And they wanted me to do a screen test. And I was in New York, and I was standing on the corner, I think 57th and 6th or so, on the payphone with my new agent, Philip Carlson. And he was telling me that I had to sign a deal. And I was like, cool. What does that mean? He goes, well, this deal is a 7-year deal. So if, and I'm like, wait.
Yeah.
A 7-year deal for what? He's like, the show. I'm like, but I don't have the part yet. And I'm right. They don't want to fly you out unless you're going to do it if they cast you. And I'm like, do what? I read one scene.
Yeah.
How will I know what it is that I'm going to do?
You're going to do
know?
this scene for the next
I'm going to do
7
this
years.
scene for the next
Yeah.
7 years? That's not going to be great for the whole versatility game.
Yeah.
So that scared the shit out of me. And I
Yeah.
kind of stopped. I was lucky enough, that's the truth, is I was lucky enough to make enough money to cover my expenses.
Your nut.
My nut, as my dad would say. So I was ready to do that, not to make money, but I was lucky enough to make enough money.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
Okay, so when you get in Sleepers, because the play's 94,
Yeah.
Sleepers is 96.
Yeah.
And just to remind everyone who's in Sleepers, because you might have
Yeah.
forgotten, it's Brad Pitt,
Yeah.
it's Kevin Bacon, it's Robert De Niro,
Dustin Hoffman,
Oh
Dustin
my-
Hoffman,
Jason Patrick, Minnie Driver.
What?
fucking
Directed by Barry Levinson, who made some of my favorite films growing up.
Diner.
Oh, the Baltimore trilogy.
Yes, yes.
Just like
Yeah, Avalon.
Avalon. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
it's a phenomenal filmmaker.
What could be more exciting?
Nothing.
Yeah.
That's so
Oh,
cool.
how do we compute that? Like first play is a Tom Stopper, and then our first movie is like fucking De Niro and Hoffman.
I was shitting myself.
Were you
bet.
intimidated?
It was Jason Patrick, Brad Pitt, Ron Eldard, and myself, who were supposed to be 4 buddies.
Yeah.
And we got sent to juvie and not treated well. Ron
Yes.
Eldard and myself, our characters did not turn out well. We became a part of the Westies, essentially, which was
You guys were all molested.
we were all molested and beaten, so Brad Pitt was able to get out of it in some way. Jason Patrick was able to get out of it in some way, but Ron and I got caught up in it. In any case, we were paired up for most of the scenes.
Yeah.
And he had a very similar approach to acting that I did.
Okay.
We were really acting nerds.
Yeah,
So
you were a lot.
That was a safety net for me.
Okay.
And we talked shop a lot and, sat there marveling over De Niro on the stand playing a scene. We could barely hear him and watching him working.
Did you have the type of personality? Did you try to talk to these folks between takes?
No. Dustin Hoffman, he played our lawyer, so he would talk to us and he was extremely entertaining. Often trying to steal our lines, I might add, Dustin.
Sure, yeah. It's not his first rodeo.
But he was incredibly charming. And my mom came to set one day and he made this big thing of like jumping over the what do you call them, benches or what's in a courtroom where the people sit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
the
pews.
pews.
The pew-
but
I know,
not
I want to say
really.
pews,
Yeah,
but it
yeah.
sounds kind of churchy.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, he jumped, like leapfrogged over them, and it was like, what's her name? Georgianne. And my mom was out of her skull. She still has the picture of me and Dustin and
That's
her from that day.
cool.
So
what a moment.
that was an amazing moment.
Yeah.
There were lots of aspects of that were they were just novel in a way that you can't describe, and you're trying not to fuck it up.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about
Your dad
film.
must have been going berserk.
My dad started to go berserk when I did Without Limits, and it was about an athlete.
Prefontaine.
Steve Prefontaine. My dad started to get on board because Without Limits was the first time I was starring in something. He actually had this hilarious habit where he was terribly interested in words. It's somebody who tries to use big words but always gets it wrong.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And my dad was kind of like that, but he had a word a day calendar, and on his answering machine, he would always leave. He'd say, you missed me this time. However, I am going to give you a gift today. The word of the day is superfluous. Superfluous.
and you would change it every day?
Regularly. If it was every day,
Wow.
probably not, but
Yeah.
regularly. Yeah.
Wow.
And me teaching you this word is, in fact, the definition of the word.
Superfluous.
You don't need to know this.
He might say something like, Hey, Bill, you were superfluous in that.
Okay,
And you're
great.
like,
Maybe not
great, great,
understanding for
okay.
kid. You got the super part.
Sure. Maybe going for superb.
Okay, so without limits, Prefontaine, you're already a runner. That helps. People love to play Prefontaine. This has happened a few times.
Well,
right?
you know what happened actually is they were part of the same creative team. The producers, writers, directors were all trying to. Tom Cruise was going to do it first, and then there was some disagreement about how to proceed.
Of course he wanted to. He's the best on-screen runner we've ever fucking had.
100%.
Nobody runs as fast as he does.
100%.
It's terrifying how fast he runs on
during
screen.
the period of time that they were fighting about how to make it happen, he felt like he aged out of the part.
Okay.
So he became a producer. But what happened was, I can't remember who it was, the producers or the writers, but one group got enough money to start making the movie. At which point the other group was like, we have to make the movie first. So they were literally in a race. And I had no idea. I had been cast. I moved up to Eugene, Oregon, where we shot a bunch of it. I went to the field where he ran, and somebody said, "Oh, which of the movies are you with?" And I was like, "Which of the
You gonna come again?
Which of the what?" And that was when I learned that there was a competing movie happening at the same time.
Okay. That
Oh.
was the Jared Leto version.
That was the Jared Leto version, and theirs came out. Ours was called Pre first, and because theirs came out first, and it was called Prefontaine, they had to change the title, and it became Without Limits. But,
Okay. This is like Wyatt Earp and Tombstone. Or
yeah. Oh,
yeah.
totally. Exactly the same.
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
Yeah.
I'm about to go to London to do a stage adaptation of High Noon. And so I've been watching Westerns.
Yeah.
And Patrick Wilson turned me on to a whole bunch. And I didn't really know the Western genre so well.
Yeah.
My Darling Clementine, if you like the Wyatt Earp story,
Yes.
Henry Fonda plays it. It's awesome.
My Darling Clementine. Okay.
Whoa.
I like those movies. I like a Western.
They're very applicable to right now. And what you discover is a lot of the writers, the guy who wrote High Noon, the movie, was blacklisted. And part of, if you rewatch High Noon under these circumstances, you see it's really not about that kind of heroism. It's about cowardice in the face of a violent threat, and how people kind of turtle up, even for somebody who they have lionized before,
Yeah.
if they feel like it's not in their best interest.
So it's
to
about
get in the fight.
McCarthyism, I'm saying?
McCartneyism.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
there you go.
Okay.
The big red scare was
Yeah.
people giving up names, people being blacklisted,
Yeah.
companies not wanting to put out anything that might be perceived as
Communist.
left-leaning.
Yeah.
And so, that culture, you watch those movies that were made in the 50s, and it's essentially, how do you make a civil society out of a lawless community?
Uh-huh.
And so without laws and the rule of law and consistency with the rule of law and its application,
Yeah.
what you have is a bit of chaos. And can you have a civil society in a chaotically structured environment?
Yeah. Okay, so I become very aware of you, of course, like a lot of people my age, and Almost Famous. This is I watched a little clip of you and Sam Jones today, which was kind of funny.
Oh, he's awesome.
He's the greatest, and I loved his show off camera.
Yeah,
It was
great
so
show.
great. But he's talking about, he actually was the one who had to photograph you for the cover of Esquire. Like, just coincidence.
He's a great photographer.
Oh,
He's
incredible.
a fantastic
We
photographer.
still, all of our artwork is shit he took of me 9 years ago or 10 years ago.
He's a phenomenal photographer, but this can't be a nice story.
Well, no, it's just simply, it's not nice or not nice. It's that it was not for you.
Yeah, it was not.
And I think that's my big curiosity from looking at you from afar.
What wasn't for you?
Being famous,
Oh.
being on the cover of a magazine.
Cover of magazines. Got it.
Yeah.
It didn't feel right.
Well, I'll tell you what happened was in the 90s, there was this big rush by entertainment glossy magazines, and there were a lot of them, to discover the next big thing.
Yeah.
So there was something called the It Guy or the It Girl.
Mhm.
And I'm sure they still have it. I sound like I'm 104. Back
No, you're
then,
right. It
we had
used to-
things called the It Guy.
It used to be more in your face.
It was different for sure.
It was intense.
And they cram some people down your throat. You rejected
most
it.
people down
Yeah,
your
I want to say
throat.
someone's name, but I don't want to say that.
and I was aware of those kinds of things that were happening. They were happening before people had actually produced anything.
Right.
And I was not feeling terribly confident. I feel like I did good professional jobs in movies, but I didn't think I was giving like memorable performances. But they thought I photographed well.
Yeah.
So they wanted me for their magazines.
Yeah.
And I realized I didn't want to be a model. I didn't want to wear somebody else's clothes. I was just interested in acting. I definitely didn't want to talk about myself or talk about my personal experience, because how am I going to be able to convince people that I'm somebody else if they know all this shit about me? And I'm also not that good. So, that was like a part of that was a conscious strategy on my part, much to the chagrin of many people I worked with.
Yeah, so this is kind of common. We've interviewed a bunch of people who they're hesitant to be interviewed because they have this old architecture of like, you don't want people to know the real you so that you can convincingly play all
Right.
these other people.
Right.
Neutral mask, if you will.
Neutral mask, if you will.
Breathing in one another's
Perfectly.
mouths, damping on each
Not-
other's
no,
chests.
no,
We already
yes,
talked about
sweatpants,
that, but-
boners.
No.
I think a lot of actors said like, well, I don't want everyone to know me because then they won't be able to believe me in this. And that's the logic they've employed. But I do think simmering under that are some fears.
I'll tell you this. I was not unambitious in my work. I went after some shit.
Okay.
And so, people would say, sometimes they would say, oh, you don't want to be a star. I was like, did you see Watchmen? You think I was not trying with Dr. Manhattan? I mean, I wasn't
letting it rip.
demurring.
Yeah,
Almost
yeah.
Famous wasn't meant to be a niche drama.
Yeah.
It's just that they didn't work. Almost Famous lost money.
It did.
That's
Yes.
insane.
This is so
So
weird.
people think
right?
about it, and I was number one on the call sheet. So and since I wouldn't do press either, it wasn't like my rate was going up.
Right.
So I wasn't getting a lot of the opportunities. I had to audition. I had to put myself on tape with dummy sides for Alien Covenant.
Wow.
So,
Right.
at this point, when that came at 47 or something, I've been in a lot of things.
Yeah.
But so it's even, I wasn't demurring from that, but I wanted to do it on the merits of my work,
Yes.
not on a magazine's interest in exploiting my cheekbones, which, by the way, is cartilage from my hip. So I don't walk so well now, but I've got these great cheekbones.
You had them put in from your hips.
Yeah, from when I was young. My parents did that.
Oh, good for them.
They wanted to set me up for
They
success.
thought ahead.
Got it. They made the right call. They're gorgeous.
I remember sharing a story about going to a couple of different schools, and the way that the writer rendered it was that he had a very difficult upbringing. And that was one of the first articles that I think came out. My mom was in tears.
Yeah.
So I think there was also a part of me that was protective
Yeah.
of my parents and whatever the people around me.
But also, it kind of sounds like it's the UNC thing all over again. Like you really are only comfortable if you feel like you really earned something
Yeah,
by you.
probably yes.
It's the same thing.
I think
There
that's
we
a
go,
good.
Monica. You kind of circle.
I think that's a good observation.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to be comfortable in general because I think I realize how much luck there is in life, and I walked into, even though we talked about some of the difficulties of having a paraplegic childhood, I walked into a fastball in my life. I got really lucky in a lot of
Yeah.
different ways.
I'm going to go one step further on that. So I think you were feeling like your dad if you were to jump in the spotlight and do all these things.
So
That would have been a very
flashy.
dad move. That would have
Definitely.
been what your dad would have done.
Definitely live fast, die hard.
Yes.
That is not a long career.
Yeah.
100%.
So that's what I mean is like there might also have been in the mix a little bit of I'm still defining myself as not being like my dad, as I did my
I'm
whole
sure.
life too.
I am absolutely sure.
Yeah.
Dax. I mean, I think that's in so many aspects of my young adulthood
yeah,
Mhm.
is
same.
trying to figure out the ways I'm the same, the ways I'm different.
Yeah.
How can I embrace the things that I loved about him that are in me
Yeah.
without accepting the things that were difficult.
And often they're the same thing.
Yeah.
That's what's so hard.
That's true. It's
Well, and
really
then the
true.
irony is if you're me, then you just wake up and you look in the mirror and you're like, oh, I'm him. I tried
Yeah,
to
totally.
be the opposite and I just really became him.
I did this show called Hello Tomorrow, and I was interested
Which
in
I
it.
love, by the way.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely.
It's a sort of death of a salesman sort of story.
Mhm.
They're selling plots on the moon.
Selling plots on the moon,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
He's a traveling salesman in a retro future, like the
Mm.
Jetsons or something
Yeah.
like that. Retro American future. And so he's selling timeshares on the moon. Except there are no timeshares on the moon yet. But he believes that, well, it was totally coincidental. We shot in Manhasset, the street, like in the opening sequence.
Yeah.
That's in Manhasset. And
No way.
on every call sheet, they list a hospital, and the hospital is North Shore Hospital, the hospital that I was born in.
Whoa.
And you're playing your dad.
I'm playing my dad.
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
And
yeah.
when I look at pictures from that, and some of pictures of my dad, I mean, it's like spitting image.
You're so good. And like when you sit down in the diner with the guy who wants nothing to do with you, the way you turn that whole scenario
Oh, thanks, dude.
was so fucking skillful. You can't really act your way into it. There has to be some kind of, cellular salesman in you.
Yeah, well, my dad, there was a kind of curiosity, even in the word thing. He was curious about things.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
loved people, much more than I do.
Yeah.
But he
Yes.
loved people, like terribly interested. He'd get into a cab and I'd sit down and he'd say, "Hey, how you doing up there? Give me your name. I see it and I don't exactly know how to pronounce it, and I'd like to be correct." And the guy's name, he's like, "It's John." He's like, "Oh, John. Wonderful to meet you, John. I'm Tommy Crudup. You can call me TC, Big T, Top Dog, whatever you like.
Oh my
This is my son, Billy. I call him Disco. You can call him whatever you like to. He's an actor, John. Now, tell us about you."
Wow.
And then he would lean into the conversation.
Yeah,
And then
so gregarious.
typically by the end of it, trying to get John to be a business partner with him in something.
Sure.
You ever thought about
Yes.
selling Spanish Bibles out of the trunk of this thing?
What are your thoughts on the inflatable ice chest, John?
I could go great in this cab.
Wow.
Um,
Unique.
from the outside, what I have observed in the kind of theories I've come up with about you, it's substantiated by people I run into who know you, which is like, you're an actor's actor. Every actor has a boner for you. It's a fact. Even the actorious actors, there's a ton of reverence there. Like a lot of the guys that I know that are really fucking good, they all admire you in a very similar way.
And Jennifer Aniston. We just had Jennifer Aniston
Oh, you did?
on, and she said the exact same thing.
I feel the
She was
same about her.
gushing. But I was like, oh, this is one of these unicorns who was not pulled towards a ton of money like I was, and loves the stage and just prioritize that. And it seems almost impossible for someone to make that decision. If you're like me and you're a greedy little pig and you want security, I like it. So I've just always been curious from afar of like, wow, this guy has some kind of integrity that I can't imagine having.
Well, I'm gonna. Is this broadcast? Because I'd
It's
like to put this out
live.
all over the place.
Okay.
I really appreciate that setup there, Dax.
Yeah.
My interest was in trying to exploit the best of my potential, and this kind of goes back to civics, because you should contribute to your community, and if you have a skill set that's applicable in some way that can contribute to your community, even if it's stupid storytelling.
Yeah.
If you can be really good at it, you can be really useful in
Yeah.
a certain sector
Yeah.
of somebody's life. There's
Yeah.
part of their life they need a half-hour break or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that guy in Hello Tomorrow, that character feels really useful when he can light that guy up with a little bit of hope.
Yeah.
And I feel useful when I can tell a good story.
Yes.
And I can collaborate with people with disparate upbringings and
Yeah.
ways of seeing, and create something that none of us imagined individually. One of the reasons why I love New York, why I've been there, it is pluralism, right? Smashed in your face. You know, it is just compressed, distilled, and so the audience
There's
is
a
there.
Hasidic Jew sitting next to a cowboy with a cowboy
It's all
hat
there,
on.
yes.
Yeah,
And on your way to work on the train, you're going to sit next to all of those people. And one of them is going to tell you to fuck off once a day. So you're not going to be able to get a big head about it, but you're going to be a part of the community.
Yeah.
And so I suppose that's one reason why the theater in particular, I think the biggest reason is because that's where I've had some of the best parts. I mean, you know, how do I turn down some of those parts? That's just, I studied this kind of work so I could apply it in this way. So if somebody's going to give me an opportunity, I should get off my ass and do it.
Yes.
And you know, keep my cost of living low. That's another big thing.
Well, one thing I happen to know about you is you did have a safety net from 1998 to 2007, I want to say.
Oh, more than that.
More than that. Yeah, hold on. Let me.
I was actually just.
Don't say the what.
Okay.
1998 to 2005.
A big safety net.
And I've printed something up for you, and I hope you'll cold read this for
I certainly
me.
will.
Okay. Because Monica probably doesn't know this,
Yeah, I
and this
know.
is great. Yeah. Get in position.
Oh, this is
This is a
exciting.
treat for you.
Prada sunglasses, $548. Striped blouse from the row, $1,600. Hermes Birkin bag, $38,500. Realizing halfway home from Santa Monica that despite how cute you look, you're going to Tonka in the car.
No. Stop. Stop it.
Priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. I don't even know what Tonka means. But does that mean
shouldn't
shit
know.
yourself?
Yes, it is that.
Is that
It
wait,
is
and
that.
it's capitalized? I can do a better take.
Oh, okay. Let's go again. That was just that. That was
Realizing-
more about the
How dare
heart.
you.
This is like that thing I wrote.
Realizing halfway home from Santa Monica that despite how cute you look.
It's too hard.
Hold on. I'm a professional. You know, if you pay me a little money, I'll take it very seriously.
Exactly.
This is the only way we're getting the campaign back.
Realizing
I think I deserve some money for this.
halfway. I can guarantee in the 13 years I did it, I never had to say $38,500.
Yeah, right?
Realizing halfway home from Santa Monica that despite how cute you look, you're going to... I can't do it.
Oh my God.
It's incredible. That's great writing. I got to tell you, that is right in the
I'm
case.
so
chimpanzee.
embarrassed.
Did you watch this great doc we watched? It was
No.
about these people. No, that's the good
Chimp
one where they
crazy?
fight. Chimp crazy, I
Is that
think.
what it's called?
I don't know it.
Oh.
All these people who try to own these chimps, they end up getting their faces eaten off, right? But one of the chimps was Tonka. And Tonka would wipe his duty on the glass.
he
And they
would
had
throw his
Tonka, and they
food.
had to make Tonka clean. So when Monica had an accident,
No,
she's been
why are we
referring to it
talking?
as Tonkaing.
I said I felt like I was Tonka. Like I was just an animal with like no control.
We have a
There's
friend,
poop
Naomi and I,
everywhere.
who is desperate to write a book called Shit Happens about all of those kinds of stories. Yes.
Yes.
Our favorite
never heard
stories
Tonka.
on earth are when we call it unauthorized evacuation.
Yeah.
We have a
I got
prompt
it.
on Fridays, and people tell us stories of their unauthorized evacuations.
There was another one that I really liked where somebody thinks they're going to pass wind and, something else where it's, I gambled and lost.
Yeah, that's right.
That one cracks
Some
me
people
up.
say I trusted a fart.
Oh, I haven't heard that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I trusted a fart. And then, all right, I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it. Okay.
All right,
Oh.
let's see.
This is you. Prada sunglasses, $548. Striped blouse from the row, $1,600. Hermes Birkin bag, $38,500. Realizing halfway home from Santa Monica that despite how cute you look, you're going to Tonka in the car, priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard.
I mean, there's a
That was
professional.
good.
Thank God he was not
That
around in
was
1997
good.
when I was auditioning for that.
Wow,
but that's a
that
gift
was-
of all gifts,
Oh,
right?
for sure.
Holy
That kind of allows you. I think we should really, really celebrate. Like that gives you the freedom to have the exact career you wanted.
I was just texting last night with one of the producers of the MasterCard campaign. Greg Lotus is his name.
You're so good with names. It's kind of maddening.
You are
Joyce
good.
Thomas, she started the whole thing. Joyce King Thomas. And she, some of these names, by the way, what if they're all made up? And I'm getting them all wrong.
Yeah.
You're selling it though.
Do you know Timothy Oliphant?
Yes.
So
I don't know him.
He
I know
does
who he
what
is.
you're saying, but he really does it. He says, "Is Deborah so and so?" And then that's not who it was. And he started saying names when we interviewed him. I go, "Stop! You know these aren't the real names." And he's
It's
like,
very possible.
They're close though.
Well, it's important to give these two credit though, because Greg wrote to me last night, and Joyce is at the point where she could be in the advertising Hall of Fame or something. And he was like, "Would you write something?" And I wrote exactly that. She worked for an advertising agency, and they were often trying to get an account, to win an account. So they would do a temp version of what they were doing, or do a real version of it, and try to give it to the company, in this case, MasterCard. But I did one for Champion Athletic Wear and MasterCard, and I was just doing it for the session fee and getting some experience doing voiceover. She called my agent and said they won the account and they just wanted to use the voice that they used in the track. And I got to say, the first year or so, even though I was making some money, I didn't understand what I really had. And I was kind of like, oh, this is a pain in the ass. I got to go up to 20th Street again and go record
say the same word 12
say
times.
the same thing, and it was about 2 years into it where I realized this is the gift of a lifetime. So you're right. I had an enormous safety net. I mean, when you're starting out, if you can bank on 20 grand, 50 grand, whatever it is a year, your life opens up creatively. You can really make the kinds of, you don't have to take those jobs. You don't have to do
7-year contract.
the 7-year contracts or the marketing. You just do, you work your 6 months at a time, try to keep yourself employed, stay in the game, take the good parts that you can. But I'm telling you, by, year 10, I was just like, I could walk in, do 20 spots in about 20 minutes. And it was...
And pay your rent on your nice apartment for the...
it was great.
And it's iconic. It's a cool thing to be a part of.
It was also a great
It's actually one of the greatest. It became a cultural phenom. People would use it as,
Well, I occasionally would be invited to these like charity events where they would be like a golf like event, because I played golf when I was growing up, and I like competing at anything. So I would show up at these charity events, and I'd walk up to the foursome, and I'd say, "Hi, I'm Billy Crudup. I'm your celebrity fifth man on the team," and inevitably I'd get, "No, you're not." And I'd say, "Well, I was just pointed. I think this is group number 40." He's like, "I just paid 10 grand for Goose Gossage. Who the fuck are you?" And I was like, "Nah, this will be." And I'd have the MasterCard in my bag. So I'd just wait until like the third or fourth hole after I'd had a birdie or something and help the team. And I'd go, "So you guys don't like theater? You don't get to see a lot of theater?" There are some things money can't buy. And they go, "Oh, get the fuck out of here. It's a MasterCard jerk."
Yes. Yeah, fuck Chichi Rodriguez or whoever I wanted to play with. Look at Arnett.
Great.
Arnett, like, he's been GMC trucks for like 25 years.
That's incredible.
I mean,
awesome.
I'm so jealous.
Yeah, that's a
Okay,
so
we've
awesome.
arrived at Jay Kelly. Let's talk about Jay Kelly.
amazing.
Also, we've had Reese and Jennifer. And you're the third morning.
I can
show.
almost not do any more morning
we already
show.
did
We've had almost the whole
That
cast.
has
in the
been,
last
by the way,
2
another
weeks.
blessing getting that
Yeah,
part.
so
I mean, that
cool.
was just that was great, good luck, and so another one I'm grateful for. And we fun season this season. So hope you're tuning in to the morning show.
Yes. So
as well.
everyone check that out. That's still airing on Apple Plus right now. I don't think we've reached the end of the
I don't
season.
think
No.
so.
Yeah.
have not.
You're stellar on that, of course.
Thank you, Jay Kelly.
I'm just
Know
reading
about that.
Hermes bag. I looked up those
I mean, that's a
prices.
great one.
I wanted it to be real. That's what a fucking bag costs.
38.
$38,500.
$38,000.
Not all of them. I mean, I don't have one.
The one I looked
But-
up was...
That seems
That's
like
tough. That's tough.
a
That's
lot.
really tough.
Okay, let's talk about Jay Kelly. So Jay Kelly, Noah Baumbach.
Yeah,
We love Noah Baumbach.
yeah. Terrific director.
Squid and the Whale's the first
Mhm.
thing I saw.
Well,
maybe.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
Kicking and screaming back in the day.
Yeah.
And I've he's made so many good movies and has been such a consistent filmmaker and such an interesting filmmaker for a long period of time. Very hard to do. I think, if you make one good movie as a director, like a good movie, you're probably a really, really good director. If you make 2 good movies, you're probably one of the better directors of your generation. If you make 3 good movies, you're freaking great.
You're in it for the history books.
You're great.
Yeah.
Because even if you look at they're really hard.
They're really hard.
I mean,
People underestimate.
Herding Cats, and it is, especially if it's something that you have written and then you've got your own guts in there on the paper. And that's a hard thing to sustain.
Yes.
And Noah has done that for a long period of time. And it was a beautiful script about a movie star.
George Clooney.
Yes,
George Clooney.
I know well.
Perfectly cast in the sort of twilight of his career. Looking back to your earlier question, saying, was it worth it? Or what did I do wrong? Or what did I do right? And he's got 2 grown children.
The last is leaving. Is that what
the last one is leaving, exactly. And he starts to have a bit of existential crisis.
Yeah.
And immediately, like narratively in the film, his mentor dies. So he ends up at a memorial for his mentor. And all of a sudden, his North Star is gone. And his children are sort of out of the picture. And one of his former acting school friends and roommate is at the memorial as well. And they haven't seen each other in a long time. And so George is feeling like nostalgic. He's like, hey, man, you want to go get a beer? And so the character I play is his acting school buddy. And we go get a beer. We start to bond about, like, oh, who's still working? And basically nobody is working still. One of them does voiceovers from that class. But Jay's the one who took off and just kept flying. But it turns out the character I play is holding on to some things. And George's character, Noah built into it a little bit of a narrative trick where George's character says to my character, oh, you were always the one we looked up to. You were the great actor in the class. I mean, I could watch you do anything. I could watch you read the menu. And so then that's what the character has to do in a way that is impactful. And so the way that Noah had written it, he was describing a kind of like method acting that is not the way that I work. And the way that I work is, like I was saying before, storytelling. I just want to try to tell the story that the writer has written and that the director is trying to compose in a way that makes the audience become involved. I don't try to manifest emotion. If emotion comes in the playing of a scene, I'm not afraid of it, but the aim is not exactly. So the aim is to accomplish the story, the event of the scene. Why is the scene in the movie? Why is the scene in the play? All right, let's make sure that the 3 of us as actors collude to make sure that event happens. And then whatever happens in between, you're listening to each other, and then you have something that is creatively novel because you're all trying to be witness to it at the same time. And this one is saying, no, this event has to happen. And I kept telling, no, I'm not sure that I know how to do that. And so I told him, I said, I'll tell you the way that I work. And I think it could work in the same way. And I describe it exactly the way that I did now, which is kind of long. There's just one scene in the movie, and he's listening very patiently to me. And I was actually in London doing a play at the time, and they were shooting part of it in London. So on the day off, I was going to go and do this scene. And I kept writing to him saying, what if it's kind of like this? And he'd listen and say, oh, that's an interesting idea. And then I'd come in for rehearsal. Me and George and Noah rehearsed, and George is like, yeah, I hear you're going to try some new things out. And I was like, yeah. And, we wouldn't quite get to them. And I was noticing that the script wasn't changing. And like 2 weeks before, I was like, geez, I better figure out some fucking method shit. So I did a quick and deep dive into whatever I could in their repertoire. And, during the day's work, I said to Noah and George, I got no idea how this is going to go. So I've got a lot of backup plans, but just bear with me if you could.
Is that easy or hard for you to say out loud.
It's okay to say now.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
I feel much more because I know that I want to be helpful.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, that's my like
Baseline.
bottom baseline.
Yeah.
It's
is
not
I,
ego.
I don't want to be destructive to it. Yes, because I've
Yeah.
got some. So it doesn't mean I'm not passionate about like when I'll have these discussions with the writers. Has great writers on a morning show. Carrie Aaron the first 2 seasons, then Charlotte Stout the second 2 seasons, and their whole team. And if something doesn't sound right to me, or I feel like it's going down a way that I don't understand, we have big creative discussions. I don't have any problem having that kind of discussion if I don't understand the story. This one, you know, was more about accommodating my ability to tell it in a way.
Like what Noah probably wanted to say is like, I understand you work that way, but the character you're playing doesn't work that way.
Correct. Exactly. And I'm like, but no, I'm a 57-year-old actor.
Yeah.
I've been doing
And
it for
that's
so long.
great that you
I've
do
got
that.
great-
But
yes,
the
exactly.
character that I wrote that
It
you're going to
does
come
something
play
different.
does it different.
But it's
Precisely.
kind of life imitates art a little bit.
It was
Yeah.
really great. And to be asked to do something that you don't know how to do,
Yeah.
that's a big gift, you know? And so, but the reason why I'm saying all of this is because that's the pretext for George's character to go on a journey of discovery.
Mm.
So if I don't make that work,
Yeah.
him going away
We have
dramaturgically doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
failure to launch,
So-
we call it.
It's a failure to launch.
Yeah.
So it was a really great experience. And I had known George and wanted to work with George. But moreover, the stories about George and Adam Sandler and their partnership.
Because does Adam play his agent or something?
Plays his agent.
Yeah. They didn't give us the movie. Normally I would have watched.
Yeah.
I
we
could only watch the
tried.
trailer. Yeah. So I'm piecing together who Sandler is. but-
Sandler is his longtime agent, and Laura Dern is his publicist. And I mean, there is a murderer's row in that cast of great
Yeah.
actors.
Yeah.
And Noah, the way that he described it, he was feeling somewhat disenchanted with movie making after he made a film called White Noise. And it wasn't received in the way that he imagined it would be received, or the story didn't land in the way that he had hoped it would land. And he felt kind of cynical about it. And this is sort of like a beautiful, not necessarily love letter, but like description of the carnival life that we lead, you know?
Yes.
And it's gilded with, you know, the George Clooney charm and and also a beautiful heartfelt performance. And every part of it, you know, I only worked for like 3 or 4 days,
Yeah.
but I'm at every press thing. I
Yeah.
love being a part of this group.
Yeah,
There
good.
is so much. Oh, you guys want me to show up in Venice? Sure. I'll buy my own
Yeah,
ticket.
yeah.
You know, like whatever.
Cover of Esquire magazine?
You got
Yes,
it,
I'm
baby.
up for it now.
100 now I'll do it. Oh, that magazine folded? Damn it. I'll do the
That's
online
so
version.
funny.
So yeah, I'm riding their coattails as far as I can. It was a beautiful thing for me to be a part of, and a really gorgeous film that I hope people
When
dig.
I talked to Netflix and also like some personal publicists, and I was like, guys, if there is a movie that the armcharies would want to see, because you know, our listeners, we call them armcharies. We talk so much about this, about like looking back on your life and the things that seem like they're going to be so great aren't necessarily so great.
That's
I mean,
it.
it's so us.
Uh-huh.
And Callie, my Callie, has, you know, she obviously saw it a long time ago and was like, yeah, it's so good and it's about this. And I was like, that's our audience. So I really encourage.
Well, that's it. I mean,
armcharies
I
to
would
see it.
just expand on that by way of saying, I do think that's an American phenomenon in particular, this notion, and we talked about it a bit with our fathers too, that my great life is about to begin.
Yes.
Like, when is it going to begin? And because it's the land of opportunity
Yeah.
and abundance, you're sure that your gilded life. And what better way to describe that than a movie star who we
Exactly.
think
It's the
somehow
epitome.
as a completely protected, gorgeous life, free from any kind of malady at all.
Royalty.
The
is our
royalty,
closest thing.
royalty,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Well protected from the mundane realities of living. And if you are busy looking forward to your future, you miss the life that you're having.
Yes.
And so I think it's a great metaphor for some kind of American discontent too.
Yeah,
But it's told in a very,
absolutely.
I mean, I'm taking more of a sociological kind of take on it there. The movie itself is just lovely.
Oh, I had one question. What is it like to work with Tom Cruise? We went on this summer, my family did. We called it Tom Cruise's Cruises, and we watched almost the entire canon.
Oh my gosh.
So we watched all 8 Mission Impossibles.
Wow.
You're in the 3rd one.
Correct.
You're fucking great.
Thank you.
And I got so obsessed with him, and this is not my observation. This is Adam Scott's observation. And he too is a huge Tom Cruise fan. And I was like, I go, after doing this summer thing where we watch all of his movies, I mean, you really forget how insanely good he is in Rain Man. He's like playing someone that's completely not Tom Cruise.
I'll tell you this, I don't forget. He was incredible in that movie. That is a phenomenal performance.
So I said to Adam Scott, I'm like, this is going to be a dumb sentence, but like, I think Tom Cruise might be the most underrated actor alive.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Because obviously,
do you remember him in Taps? I think it was Taps.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
He always had this rabid intensity that it's unusual. Yeah.
But what Adam said, and I think it's really astute, he said, I think Tom Cruise's gift as an actor is he is acting solely for the audience sitting in the seat watching the screen, and his understanding of what their experience is going to be with that lens on, with me at this distance doing this with my eyes, that's his genius. And I was like, I think you're right. I think he has a better idea than anyone's ever had about what this thing I'm doing right now will be experienced as in 1 year on that size screen.
I completely believe that.
So when you're acting with him, what kind of like things are you observing? Because you must be equally fascinated just to get to work with him.
Sure. Yeah, you have to catch yourself a little bit, because
does he suck you into the?
He's a star,
Yeah.
and
I could probably just start staring at him.
Forget I loving movie stars, and and he's one of them. Risky Business, with that smacked me right during high school. They're Tom Cruise was the man, and because he was a producer on Without Limits, I had some superficial interactions, and he was always incredibly supportive. Like, Billy, what do you need? We're going to make that happen. Well, let me tell you about that experience. And in the way that I think of it, this is what's going on there. So like really like a team player. There were 2 moments that I'm thinking of now. One was because J.J. Abrams made that movie. J.J. is a brilliant man.
Yeah.
And in the movie, I play somebody with duplicitous motivation.
Uh-huh.
And there is one scene in particular where I reveal to Tom Cruise the extent of my duplicity.
Yeah.
And it comes in the form of a monologue while he's tied up and been beaten up. Yeah. And I only do well with text if I have time with it. I can memorize things, but not well.
Okay.
And I can't perform, anymore. I think everybody who's an actor probably got into the business because they could internalize text.
Yeah.
That was the way their brain worked. Otherwise, it's just too intimidating.
Yeah.
So as you get older, it starts to atrophy a little bit.
Yeah.
And what was once a special skill is sort of gone. In any case, I had this monologue that I realized too, like the Jay Kelly thing, was pretty important for the plot of the movie. And so JJ, when he sent it to me, he said, don't memorize it yet because we're working right now. And as we're working on the script, and they were shooting also while they were working. So they're working on this script and shooting. And about 2 weeks out, I said, JJ, that monologue's about a page long and I want to kill it for you. So I want to start memorizing now. So I'm just going to go with what I've got. And he goes, don't, definitely, he writes me back, definitely don't.
Oh boy.
Because there are some things that the names are changing and the order is going to, it's in flux right now.
Oh.
A week out, I go, dude, we're like, this is DEFCON 1. I'm in triage mode here. I have to start. And he's like, it's coming today, 3 days before. Billy, I can promise you, the morning we're shooting it.
In the makeup trailer?
In the trailer, I get the pages.
No.
This is how I'm recalling it. It may have been the day before, but I believe it was in the trailer.
Uh-huh.
Cut to Tom tied up, me off camera reading the text.
Thank God they're shooting his side first. At least
His side
you get
first.
some practice.
Yeah.
Give
with
me
that.
some practice. turn around to me, total panic attack, melting under pressure,
No.
can't remember anything.
Oh.
This is what Tom Cruise does.
Oh.
Billy, you ever work with cue cards? And I was like, no, Tom, I have not ever worked. We're working with cue cards today. Has somebody write up the whole monologue. And this motherfucker is holding the cue card like right here so he can still have an eye on
He's still
me.
giving you.
So he's giving me everything here. Where he's got the card over here.
Oh my
And I'm doing everything I can to not play the scene like, you really should go after the rabbit's foot. When you would go to the Central America, that's a bad idea. You know, like
Yeah. Oh my
it is.
God.
But JJ and Tom are so good that they made it work in the thing.
But Billy, when you go home that night and you lay in your,
I am
you just want to die.
humiliated.
Oh man. Well, you said you needed it. And you
I
didn't
told him
get
I needed it.
Yeah.
And
that's
JJ
so
was like, no, it was
terrible.
totally fine. We'll make it work and everything.
Oh, wow.
It's great.
But I could have done so much better, Dax. I could have done so much better.
Okay, so that one's a little bit of the girl who got away.
That was
you
the
want
one-
a second chance.
Tom,
at that
Tom
one.
saved me on that. And the second was my father died because I had about maybe 2 weeks work on that movie, but it was spread out over several months. And during that month, my father passed away after he had cancer and stuff. And we had a memorial for him. And then I had to fly to Los Angeles on Monday to work on Monday. And Tom, as he did every day that I was there, came bounding into the makeup trailer. How are we doing today? You know? Huh?
Yeah.
We're looking good here. We're on fire, ready to go. Let's go.
Wow.
Good attitude. Good to see you all. Wonderful people here. So he goes to me, Billy, how you doing? And in my head, like I start doing all this social calculus. I'm like, oh, which way do I do this?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I said, well, actually, Tom, my father passed away, so I was at a memorial over the weekend. Well, you haven't been consoled until you've been consoled by Tom Cruise.
Oh, tell me what
Because that
happened.
motherfucker's right there.
Yeah.
Like he came in to the point where I was like, no, it's totally fine. I mean, everybody has a dad. They all come and go.
Yeah.
What are you going to do, Tom Terrific?
He's built
Nothing
for it.
special.
He's
He
fearless,
is
right?
built for
Yeah,
it.
he's like, this is awkward for most people, but I'm fucking going
I'm
in.
coming right in.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Those
That's sweet.
I
Look at that.
thought it was.
Wow.
Well, Billy, this has been so much fun.
Yes.
I am,
My pleasure.
I'm smitten with you, as I told you. We got to spend
back
some
at you, pal.
time this year over the summer. We did a lot of dancing.
Yes, we did.
We did a good 2 hours of dancing together.
Your family are some dancing fiends.
Right
We had
back at
a
you.
great time.
Yeah,
with them.
Naomi's got major
Oh.
moves.
Man, I hope she
up.
slows down at a certain point because I try to keep up and I'm like,
Yeah.
is it the right arm or the left arm? Which one should I be looking out for?
You were not signaling that at all. You look like you.
I like to keep up.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, I adore you. I think you're magic. I'm so glad you came in. Everybody watch.
Yeah, this was great.
Jay Kelly.
Everyone see Jay Kelly, November 11th in theaters. If you don't make it, but you should, it'll be best consumed there.
You should.
December 5th.
I'll tell you why it
Yeah.
should be seen in a theater because there's a tribute to Jay Kelly in the movie. Jay Kelly is attending a tribute to himself. And in that, they use George Clooney footage.
Oh, fun.
Real footage.
Spoiler alert, but it is worth staying to the bitter end in the theater.
Yes.
Or
Yeah.
if nothing else, I mean, you're going to have a great time in the movie, but wherever you see the movie, whenever you see the movie, but in the theater, it's pretty
I'm
awesome.
excited.
Yeah, awesome. I hope everyone checks it out. And please come back.
Absolutely will. Thank you guys for having me. This has been a pleasure.
I sure hope there weren't any mistakes in that episode, but we'll find out when my mom, Mrs. Monica, comes in and tells us what was wrong.
He wears short shorts. If you dare wear short shorts, ne'er wear short shorts.
I don't get that, if I'm being honest, because Nair doesn't wear short shorts.
Well, in this case, Nair does wear short shorts.
No.
In the commercial.
I know, but it doesn't make sense.
I know Nair can't wear shorts.
Yeah. Is there like a little pair of tiny shorts on the Nair bottle?
Let's think about this. If you dare wear short shorts,
Uh-huh.
Nair, maybe they're using wear like a verb or not a verb,
Like
but
never?
no, like
Oh.
Nair wear. Like that's a new term. That's like you Nair weared it,
Oh.
which is no hair.
Yeah. Nair wear means no hair on your
Oh, why am I wearing headphones?
Oh yeah, you just wanted to.
Well, we
You
were
feel
just doing
safer.
we were doing Armchair Anonymous.
Yeah.
And then I got used to it. So that's crazy.
You still can if you want.
I was like, what? You sound really loud in this fact check. And I was like, because
Oh.
I'm no longer hearing you in my ears the way I used to.
exactly.
We have this dista between us. You're at the distal
Really
end
nice
of this conversation.
distance. Okay.
Okay.
First things first. I have a huge question to ask you.
Oh my God, I love huge questions.
Do you eat the skin of the baked potato?
You know, I did it when I was a kid, and now I love it, especially if it's a little crispy.
So
Do you eat it?
like cut the whole baked potato. You eat
I usually-
bites that have skin.
I usually eat the organ meat out of it.
Okay, you
know,
eat the inside.
Yeah, and then I cut up the remaining skin.
Okay.
Again, if it's crispy, I prefer that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's damp.
Yep.
And then it's just like you're eating like damp bark
Yeah. You're eating a brown paper bag.
that was sitting in dirt. You're eating dirt. That's why it's that
You're
color.
eating
I think they're white on their own. You scrub them, they're white.
Maybe certain ones.
Not russet.
I don't think
russets?
russet. They're brown.
What made you think of this? Did you have a baked potato last night?
Not last night.
And do you call it a baked potato or a baked potato?
I call it a baked potato.
Oh, you're portraying your southern roots.
I know.
I'm treading very carefully
Why?
because you hate when I claim southernness appropriately.
Yeah. Well, you don't have southern roots. To betray.
I am a southerner.
You have a house
I
in the
live
South.
in the South.
I will say you have a house in the South.
A house in the South.
House in the South. Listen,
Tell
I
me.
was at a restaurant and a baked potato was bought by Jess.
Mhm.
It was a twice baked.
Mm.
So I don't know if
That guarantees crispiness.
right.
Should.
Okay, yeah. So I see him cut this potato
Mm-hmm.
and eat it like a steak.
Yeah.
And I was shook. I was like,
Mortified.
what are you doing?
Right. Like he was a psychopath.
Yeah, like you
Mhm.
are not supposed, that's not what baked potatoes are. It's to eat that's just the vessel for the inside.
That's the wrapper.
It's the wrapper,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
It's like if you ate an orange by cutting it and taking bites. It's like, no. You're not
Yeah.
supposed to eat that peel.
I mean, that's a little more harsh, but because there's no version of an orange peel tasting good. And there certainly is a version of a potato
so
skin.
this is why I wanted to ask you, because he was like, you don't eat that? And he was like, you don't eat potato skins? And then that was an interesting point, because I was like, oh, I mean, I have eaten potato skins, but not like this.
By
Not
the way, I love potato skins. I haven't had them in
See?
so long. I would go like this. Slice, 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 slice.
you
slice,
would take
Then
that.
I
That
slice,
knife is
slice,
scary.
slice.
Okay, so like, oh my,
I thought maybe
God.
it's sticking really cool. Would have been it.
You're acting willy nilly. Listen, so I wanted to put this out there. I was like, I gotta ask Dax's opinion on this, and there's a high chance that he too eats
But I
the
don't do it like
skin
him. And I think that's cool. He does it like that. He's mixing.
textures.
It's like full bodied for him. It's soup to nuts.
It is.
Yeah.
He said he mentioned the crispiness a lot, like you have now mentioned crispiness.
It's imperative.
I'm just shocked. I've never been exposed to anyone eating the outside of the baked
Oh,
potato.
really?
Yeah.
Ever?
Yeah. That's why, like,
No, I think when we were at Brick Tops, I want to say I took down a baked potato and then I did eat the skin.
you did?
Yeah, I think.
I thought that was the way you ate it.
I think it is the majority of people eat it that way, but I
Okay.
don't think, I think that's 70-30. Rob?
I don't eat the skin, but it wouldn't freak me out if I saw someone eat
It
the
wouldn't?
skin.
So somewhere in the middle of us, which is generally his chosen safe path,
That's
I think, through these minefields.
I just didn't even know it was an option.
Well, are
Like
you
my
open to
mind
trying
was
it?
blown open.
Well, are you open to trying it?
Yeah.
They're good. I mean, again, he had a great counter. Potato skins are fantastic.
Yeah, I guess I'm open to trying it, but I too have this idea that it's a paper bag.
Yeah. Now, do you eat at Lil Dom's ever?
Yeah.
Okay, so we almost never eat there because I'm always freaked out that there's a line.
Oh, sure.
But we happened to be in the mood to go out to eat 2 nights ago. We were in a rush, and it was 5:30. So that's a great time to hit a restaurant. Side note, there were 3 birthdays in a row, and the whole restaurant sang for all 3. It was
that's
so
nice.
fun. I
When
felt like I
was
was
it?
in Italy
I was there on Friday.
2 nights ago. Tuesday night. So you've eaten there.
Yeah.
They do a whole baby potato and they're smashed and cooked.
smashed
Those are
potatoes.
incredible. And those have the skin on them.
They do.
Yeah.
So I said, it's not that I'm against eating the skin on a potato. I've
A
had
red
smashed
potato, you'd always eat the
potatoes.
skin.
I've had plenty of skins on potatoes. It's specifically the baked potato.
But how about when you eat a bread bowl,
Right.
a soup, do you
Yeah.
eat the bread?
So
Because I think that's the best comp.
I eat a lot of the bread inside the bowl
Mm-hmm.
because the
But you
bread
leave the husk.
I do. So every now and then I'll peel off like a little
Nice.
bite and stick it in.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not.
I miss a bread bowl like crazy.
We can get you a gluten-free one.
I don't think so. Gluten-free bread in general is pretty
Tough.
shit.
It's tough.
Now, what's so interesting is like Kristen is now taking a stab at gluten-free sourdough bread.
Mm-hmm.
God bless her. She's worked very, very hard. There's been like 9 or 10 batches. They're never really comparable in any way to sourdough bread.
Okay.
Yet she makes gluten-free waffles that are kind of
With the
sourdough
starter.
with the starter.
Yeah.
Those are fucking dynamite.
Yeah.
Those might be the best gluten-free, alternative in the bread space. They've also really nailed pizza.
Yeah.
They have figured out pizza.
Yeah. Sometimes I even choose gluten-free crust at Lucifer's.
Thank you for calling Lucifer's.
Exactly.
It's been a long time.
Can we hear about your day yesterday? Are we allowed to hear about it?
Sure. My first filming day in, I think, 5.5 years.
Yeah. How was it?
Well, it was great in that I accomplished my goal,
Okay.
which is in the morning when I meditated. I really was thoughtful and mindful. I was like, I just want to go today and not have any power struggles. I want to be a joy to be around. And I want to service the director, and in this case, the star,
Yeah.
and the project. And I did that.
Good.
And I felt really good about it.
Great.
Because I feel my cockles coming out. It was like 6:30. I got to be on set at 6:30. I was like, that feels early. And I look at the call time. I was like, 8. Why am I there an hour?
Oh.
And I was like, and shut the fuck up and show up at 6:30. And then I went into the wardrobe fitting,
Yeah.
and the costumer was an armchair,
Oh.
which made me so happy right away. That was lovely. And then I had I forget how fun it is to order breakfast on set.
That is fun. What'd you order?
I said, do they have gluten-free bread? Ding, ding, ding.
Waffles?
No. I said, do you have gluten-free waffles with a sourdough starter?
That my wife makes.
And they did. And then so I had a fried egg sandwich with bacon and cheese and mayonnaise, and it was fucking outrageous.
Yum.
And I ended up going with my gold tooth. I had 2 different
Yeah.
options,
You had a grill.
a grill and gold tooth. I went with the gold tooth. People liked that. That was great.
Great.
And
I see you're not wearing it right now.
I'm not. Well, now I'm in a tricky sitch,
Oh.
which is now that tooth is for that.
Uh-huh.
So now I don't want to be all around town and on the show and stuff, and you see it nonstop. And then when you see that, it's not like that's a thing. So I fucked that up until the whole project's over.
Okay.
Which is a long time from now, I think March.
Okay. Interesting. So I do want to say that I did notice in a recent edit, this edit actually, you were touching it a lot.
Yeah. I did not touch it at all in my scene.
No, I know that. I'm just saying, I
yeah.
think like maybe subconsciously.
Oh, yeah.
Of course,
It's
because
new.
there's something weird in your mouth.
Yeah, and I was like,
You're just like checking it.
It always feels like it could be popped in just a hair more.
Right.
This is, and if you watch Parenthood, it's a mess. Not Parenthood, a little bit there, and then Bless This Mess. Since I've never worn a wedding ring in real life, when I have a wedding ring on, I just touch it nonstop.
Yeah.
I can't not because it's this foreign thing. It's so clear I'm not used to having a ring.
Yeah.
That's where I'm a bad actor. You'll see some of my bad acting when I
Bad
just
acting
play
comes
with
out
it.
when you have rings.
But in my defense, I do see some guys playing with their wedding ring a lot. It is a thing. It's a fidget spinner.
I do think when they first get it, there's a lot of that. I do think over time it becomes second skin.
Do you know what's great about Aaron? He's pretty clever.
What?
He gets 10 packs. His wedding ring is these like rubber rings.
Oh. No.
And he like knows he's gonna lose them, and he plays with them. And it's just he has a ton of wedding rings
That
in his
doesn't-
nightstand.
That doesn't sound like a wedding ring. That just sounds like a regular ring.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
Okay, that brings us to something fun. And this is maybe unethical.
Uh-oh, okay.
If it goes sideways.
Okay.
I guess by the time this comes out, we'll know.
Okay.
So I very much want Christmas lights down in Nashville.
Oh, yeah.
I want it to be like a spectacle.
Yeah.
And I got a bid, and it was insane. It was offensive.
Yeah.
It was I can't help but be offended. I cannot imagine that was the price that non-actors would receive.
Okay, you think it's personal.
I do. I'm like, what is this place going to be? Like the North Pole for this
Maybe.
price?
That's what you want.
Let's just put it this way. I said, well, fuck, I'm sure for $3,000, Aaron would be happy to go down there for a week and string lights up.
So it was $3,000?
Oh, no. It was
30?
17,000 to put. I was like, what?
That's a
Are you
lot.
fucking kidding? It's offensive.
Yeah, I don't know that
Like
world.
in my mind, I'm going to overpay Aaron $3,000 to do it. Like, let's just put it this way. I said to Aaron, hey, you want to go decorate the house for $3,000? He's like, fuck yes. I'd have to drive Uber for, 2 weeks or 3 weeks
Maybe
or whatever.
5.
Well, hold on. Let's not.
I'm serious.
Oh man, you keep doing this. This is what happened on Race to 270. And it cost me 4 times what
I'm
I said the
sorry,
prize
but
money
people
would be.
deserve what they deserve.
Well, there's a lot of issues. You're saying 5 because the bid was 17.
I'm not actually.
Okay.
I think that's
Go
actually
on.
a hard job. I think that's
I don't think so. I've strung Christmas lights on my houses for the last, I'll, do it here.
I know, but you get like
It's a
ornery
day.
about it.
It's a day.
Yeah, but-
At best, it's a day. So anyone in
Well-
America is making $3,000 for the day. I think that's a damn good fucking
But
wage.
we are making way more than
Don't
that.
talk about what I make.
I'm just
We're talking about
saying. I'm
that this
just-
is a very.
I'm just saying if we're going to use that as like a daily.
Jesus. I can't believe I'm getting shamed into $5,000 for
How
a day
about
of hanging
10?
lights. Also, he's going to be hanging in Nashville, driving my shit around, having a blast.
No, but you
motorcycles,
gotta separate
It's
that.
a fun time.
I need you to
He's
separate
very
that.
excited to
Okay,
go.
I guess I'll pay him the extra 2.
Now it did. I was like, hey, do you want to go down to Nashville and do this for $3,000? He was like, absolutely. Let me find a couple days and all. So, and then a flight, I had to buy plane ticket.
Listen, that's not part of
Okay.
it. That's not part of it. It's his work.
You're going to have me up to like $18,000 all in. I should just hired the professional company. They had to
Exactly.
probably look a lot better.
Well, that's the
I
thing.
also have
How
very
good
low
is it going to look?
I have very low expectations. I want it to be colorful. If he over delivers, great. But I'm not expecting him to do a great job.
But he has to get on ladders and stuff.
Okay.
Like,
There we're at. There
Okay.
we are. You're at the heart of the issue.
yeah.
Now let's go back in time. Aaron was a roofer for 15 years.
Yeah.
He lived on a 30-foot ladder.
Yeah.
So if there's any guy for the job in that department, it is Aaron. He's lived on a ladder. But hold
I'll
on.
poke a hole in that in a minute.
I'm going to get you there. I'm going to poke the same hole.
Okay, great.
So I'm just like, he said yes. I've said great. I've bought a plane ticket. And a couple days go by and I'm just like, if he falls,
I know. I know.
Well, we had such a laugh about this. I called him. I FaceTimed him. I'm like, I'm starting to get a little worried that you're going to fall off a ladder and die while
Yeah.
you're putting. I don't want Christmas lights that bad.
Yeah.
So please, like, if you got to rent a bucket or whatever. He's
What's
like, I think like the little machine you drive and it's got an arm on it. You sit in the bucket and it's got a remote control.
Oh.
He's like, I'm way more afraid to be driving a bucket around through your yard
that
and
sounds
fucking
harsh.
tipping the thing over on the sidewalk or some shit. And I'm like, that's
Yeah.
kind of a good point. But we were saying, we had such a laugh. We were saying that at the eulogy, I would be giving the eulogy. That's okay. This is our sense of humor.
I know, but I don't want.
Okay, well,
yeah.
I said at the eulogy, I would say, some people have suggested that I may have saved Aaron's life by sending him to treatment. I don't know about that. But what I know for sure is that I have killed Aaron Wigley.
Yeah.
I killed my best friend because I wanted Christmas
Oh,
lights.
no.
So listen, we had a long talk. And I'm like, look, It looks dicey. I don't give a fuck. They don't have to be up that high. And then we were joking, what if he just put them all on the
floor?
bottom of the house? Be the first step. We just go there and they're all laying around the bottom of the hall like the pants fell down of the decorations.
Exactly.
But we had a long talk and we have some safety measures in place.
I don't want him to go.
I want him to wear a life alert. Medi alert bracelet, so if he does fall off the ladder, he can hit a button.
I don't like it.
Oh my God, he can handle decorating a house. He's very competent.
He's extremely competent, but look,
Don't you think I could go decorate the house? Would you be worried about me?
I don't like that either. I don't.
Okay.
I would like you to farm this out to a professional because that house is big and there are a lot of
Come on
high
now, it's
areas.
very modest.
It's huge.
It's a very modest
I'm
home.
not doing that. It's a huge house and it has high areas.
One high area.
Also, is it going to be on the boat area? What's that called? Dock?
The dock?
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to have him decorate the dock.
Well, that's cute. I bet the other people would
look,
do that.
Well, another side note to this is I don't want him to have to go get all of the lights.
Yeah.
So I have been ordering lights ahead of time that are getting delivered there.
Sure.
So I ordered a ton of lights.
So is the original bid that thing? Did that come with the lights?
I should hope so.
Right. I assume it does.
I would hope so. But again, I went for broke. You can't spend $1,000 on lights. Your whole place, they're so cheap.
Right.
So anyways, I ordered like 11 strands, probably like 1,200 feet of this one kind
Okay.
that Kristen liked because you can change the colors. And then I was like, I want those kind that like rain down.
You like icicles.
Yeah. And they're not, because there are icicles that are like hard plastic. These are like little ropey. You know
No,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah. I think you're right. Aaron calls them that too.
Yeah.
That wasn't the name on Amazon. But anyways, I had already ordered all these ones. And then I changed my mind.
Oh.
And I'm like, well, he's got to decorate trees and shit too if he wants. He's going for a week. It's like a...
Dax.
Okay. So I then ordered like 1,300. I ordered a quarter mile of the kind that I like.
The icicles?
Yes, the icicles.
Okay.
There are so many. When he arrives, there's going to be so many. I bet it'll take him one day to unwind all the lights.
You're more to my point. This job has gotten enormous.
Okay, I'll give him $5,000.
Okay.
Ooh,
Also,
should have never brought this up. This is a $2,000 mistake.
listen.
Yeah.
Just because he was a roofer
Yeah.
doesn't mean he's still capable in the same way. Because listen, I just went to play mahjong at Anthony and Allison's house, and they have a young daughter. She was excited to show me she's been working on splits, and she wanted to do a split contest.
That's part of mahjong?
No, the daughter.
No, but what's splits?
Splits.
Oh, do the physical split.
Yeah. I'm just like, we're hanging out with the kids before we play mahjong.
You're just bouncing around from topic to topic. It was like mahjong.
Was it clear, Rob?
Nah, I mean,
Yes, it was.
Okay.
God, he can't
Right in the
say
middle.
anything. Okay, so, she's like, yay, Monica's here. And I made that part up. But like in her
Yeah.
head, she was
Oh my
doing
God, all my dreams have come true. Monica's here.
it. They do get excited when friends are over.
That wish on that falling star worked.
So Allison told her daughter, Monica is going to really love seeing your splits because she used to do splits all the time and she was a cheerleader. She was really bragging about me,
Of course, building you up.
Yes.
You're a legend now.
And they were all very impressed by this.
Yeah.
And and she was like, can I see? And I was like, well, first of all, I'm not in the right attire. And second of all, I can't do them anymore.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
even close.
Right. You got to maintain that.
Just because I was once a huge professional
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean I can still perform in the same way.
Okay. Counterpoint. Are you ready for it?
Yeah.
When Aaron was a roofer, he had 2 bundles on his shoulders all the time. He was a drunk. He was smoking cigarettes while he climbed the ladder.
Yeah.
He was hungover
Yeah.
or even drunk.
Yeah.
And he was heavier.
Right.
So in many ways, you'd be more safe to assume he'll be much better on the ladder now than he's ever been.
No, but he's not in the routine of doing it. It's
I just had him run drills. He's been climbing the
No.
ladder all week.
No, you haven't.
I'd leave that up to him. Look, here's what, at the end of the day, I would trust myself to put the lights up, and I have the same faith in him that I have in myself.
Can he wear a helmet?
Oh my God.
Please. Please, can you wear
I was thinking I wish there was a way for him to tie in.
Yeah,
with like a
carabiner.
carabiner.
Yeah,
like some
I would love
climbing
that.
gear.
I know.
Mm.
I'll give him $500 extra if he wears a helmet.
Well, text him.
Tell him that. Or I'll text
yeah.
him. I
This
need
is
proof,
crazy.
though.
This is getting crazy. Well, if he goes, I'm just not coming. You guys have now scared me. He's like, I was just going to go hang lights, which I do at he already did his own house this year.
I'll give him $50 for football pads.
Okay. Wow,
We should
the
get
price is
we should
really-
get the armchairs involved and see if they'll sponsor. But he looks like he's a goalie for a hockey team. And he just falls off the ladder because he's got too much shit on. Safety glasses and fucking gloves.
I mean, the number's really getting up there. I think I'm happy for him.
So that's what's brewing.
Are you going to do this house?
It's done. Isn't it underwhelming?
So you aren't doing it.
No, Kristen did hire someone.
Exactly. You didn't put lights up here. So we don't know if you're still capable.
This year I
This
didn't.
year, that's what I mean. This year.
Yeah,
This year, you're both 50. Things change.
We're both in better shape, though, than we
It's
ever
nothing to
been.
do with that. It's equilibrium.
Well, mine's great because I do so many, I do my bicycling.
But Aaron doesn't.
He plays pickleball all day long.
That's not
He's
for
as agile and his balance is.
Okay, I'm going to give you $3,000 to not have Aaron
This is getting very complex.
do it.
We're going to have to bring an accountant in. And someone's already mad at me, rightly so. Someone's already in their car going, you're going to spend $3,000 on your fucking Christmas lights?
I know.
Like, that's what I make in a month. So already.
I know. And that's understandable.
Yes,
That's understandable.
absolutely.
That made me excited for Christmas. I love that. Now, I have another question for you real quick.
Yep.
Okay, you know how I had twice I've had these pierced
Ear infections.
that had turned rancid
Yeah.
both times.
Yeah.
Do you think I could try it on the other ear? Because they were both on this ear,
Monica.
and maybe this ear just has a sensitivity.
You're going to hate this answer. But if you do it and your ear falls off, I'm simply not going to feel bad for you.
Hey.
Because you have been taught this lesson twice painfully. And if you have to learn it a third time.
How many rock bottoms did you have?
Okay, but no one was in support of it. No
Yeah,
one was
but-
like encouraging me to hit another
But
bottom.
we're compassionate.
Okay.
So
If you have one ear,
yeah, you better
thank
feel
God it'll
bad.
be the right side that you're not getting shot on.
No, this one, it would be it falling off.
Right. And
Right.
the camera's here.
If
If you're picking an ear to lose, that is the correct ear to
Yeah.
lose.
Well, and you can shave that side of your head too.
and then it's just smooth. The whole thing's so
There's a
smooth.
whole ear hole and a shaved sides and an ear hole.
Okay, so you think no.
I think no. I think you learned I think your ears said to you, "Hey, Monica, we don't want these up there."
I know.
But you think it's going to change
I
the
just
whole game,
love
don't you?
I do.
Can't you do like clampy ones?
Yeah. So this is the problem. So I have a cuff.
Cuff, we call it.
We call it a cuff, but I keep buying cuffs.
If you dare wear ear cuffs, cuffs wear ear hairs.
So I keep buying cuffs.
Yeah.
Okay? And my ear's small.
Yeah.
So they're always a little too big. And so they're not sitting where they need to sit
Why
on
don't
my
you
ear.
pinch them?
I try. They're nice cuffs. Like you can't.
You use pliers.
Pliers.
Monica, here's what you do. You get pliers, but before you get to pinching,
Yeah.
put some duct tape on the inside of both the pliers so that they don't leave creases or marks on your earrings. So just put tape around the pliers and then just give them a pinch.
I don't know how to do.
You don't know how to operate pliers?
I'm
They're
not
just
good
like
at
scissors.
manual activity.
Hey, Aaron, $3,000. He'll come and
I
fucking
will.
pinch
I
these.
will. I'll trust him to do that.
Aaron's going to be so rich at the end of this.
I know. So, no, I have tried, and like some of them do squeeze, but then it still opens up and then it slides, and I'm pissed. And,
Yeah.
I'm meant to have some in there permanently for my look. My look is meant for it.
Okay.
But my ears are saying no.
What if you put a little piece of two-sided tape on the inside of the cuff?
So that it sticks. Yeah.
Sounds cumbersome.
It sounds uncomf.
Could get irritated as well. From the
Yeah. And I
adhesive.
do think okay, so I have two. I have, two piercings
Ears.
here. And I have 2 ears currently.
Mhm.
And I have had 2 piercings for a long time. And then I have a 3rd piercing. And the other day, I put 3 earrings on one side.
Okay.
And I could not get the earring into the 3rd hole on my right side. It would
You
not.
didn't try hard.
No, I did.
Because Lincoln puts the earring in my ear, and that hole was closed for 25 years.
Yeah, but I don't know what to tell
Do
you.
you want her to put it in?
Sure,
It's only
she
a
can try
grand
it.
for her because she's a minor.
You can try it. No, I can tell. Like on this side, I was basically re-piercing it,
Mhm.
and that was fine. And then I was trying so hard to re-pierce on this side, but I think because the hole's a little close to the edge, it was not working.
Yeah.
And that's fine, whatever. And then that night, I took out all the piercings, and other than just my original piercing, everything was so inflamed.
Money, you can't, it's not an option for you. You have a lot of gifts. And of course, you're going to have some not gifts. And in this case, it's that you don't have that freedom.
I'm not willing to live a life where I can't have 2.
Well, then you're just going to be impussed and inflamed and
I know.
Okay.
I'm just telling you, like,
You're just warning me.
yeah, that if you
Okay.
see some goo, I'm
yeah.
choosing that.
Yeah.
Okay. But you're saying no to the piercings. Okay.
Yeah. That's
All
just
right.
my vote.
I mean, you
Rob,
have.
watch him pick the middle lane. Yeah.
You better not.
You should do it.
Okay.
Natalie has ear issues with her piercings too, so
And you enjoy dealing with those?
I know not to
Talk about it?
That's fair.
Form
Rob's
an
much
opinion.
wiser than me.
That's
He's more
fair.
like a 70-year-old grandpa. He learned to shut the fuck up better than me.
But you also, to be fair, have had to cut the earrings out.
Yeah.
So
Which I like.
Yeah, you enjoy that. So I'm kind of surprised
I'm
you aren't
actually
for
working
this.
against my own self-interest here
Yeah.
because it denies me the chance to be a hero.
You love performing surgery.
I mean, a hero.
Here.
Yeah. Do you need me to nair anything?
No, I'm good.
Your arms or anything?
Oh, I do. Okay.
You want me to nair
I'm
your
not nairing, but
forearms?
I am going to do a laser hair
Okay.
on that
Oh,
removal.
razor hair.
I had a hair removal. All right. Well, I guess let's do some facts. I have other
Let's.
things to say, but we'll be back.
We'll be back.
All right. Now, we start the episode off by talking about pumpkin spice.
Oh, sure. What
and I'm
is
here
it?
to tell you what's in pumpkin spice.
Okay.
Okay?
Perfume.
Nope.
Okay.
Typically includes cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, allspice, and cloves. Delicious.
Okay, but Monty, don't you think that's the taste that you're tasting? I don't think pumpkin is real. I don't think it's in the mix. I think what you're tasting is like that combination of those very unique flavors we've labeled pumpkin flavor. I don't think that's real.
The name can
I
be
know
misleading
that's-
as it does not contain pumpkin itself,
Oh, wow. I didn't even, that was
but
the
is
last
commonly
line.
used to flavor pumpkin-based desserts and drinks.
I think that's what everyone thinks
you
pumpkin
think
tastes
If
like.
you just take the inside of a pumpkin, you add those spices in.
What you're tasting and what you come back for
Yeah.
is that. The pumpkin is just like a vehicle, and I'd argue a poor one, for delivering this incredible alchemy of tastes
Wow.
and perfumes.
But it's a little
Like, rest assured, there's no pumpkin in your pumpkin spice latte,
there's pumpkin spice.
but that's not, there's no pumpkin in it.
You're right.
Yeah. That was a cute mashup.
Oh yeah.
Oh, pumpkin.
There was a pumpkin, a little baby.
A CC little baby.
She looks so cute.
She had a radical mohawk.
Yeah, because her dad's a hairstylist, so he
The
did her hair
hairstylist,
perfect. And
yes.
oh my God, was she cute?
Oh, it was outrageous.
Ugh. Okay. But so when you buy pumpkin spice, the little container that says pumpkin spice, this is what you're getting.
You're not getting any pumpkin. And you could have called it carbuncle spice.
No. You know what they should call it? And actually, this is appropriation. I'm going to say it. Ow,
They're
my head.
Oh.
Ew.
Oh. Oh. What's in there?
Some sort of scab.
Oh, a scabby.
Oh,
From your hair towel?
maybe. Let's
Too
hope.
damp. Too much moisture.
Um,
I just pictured your room at night, like tropical, when you're wearing your hair
Oh, my.
towel because like it just keeps all that moisture in your hair and it somehow makes the whole room
I
tropical.
don't sleep in it.
Oh, you don't?
I
What
just
do you do? You just dry your hair with it?
no. After the shower, I tie it up, put it in its towel,
Uh-huh.
and I bop around for a while,
Hours?
like an hour.
Okay. And then
Sometimes
it's,
only 15 minutes.
Okay.
And then I take it out
And-
and then I sleep on a silk pillowcase that night.
Oh, only that night.
Yeah.
Because why?
If it's wet hair, I sleep with the silk pillowcase because silk pillowcases are notoriously better for your hair. I don't really
Oh.
necessarily think that.
Might be a pumpkin spice latte thing.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
might be misleading.
Mhm.
But I buy in when I'm trying to have that hair the next day.
Yeah, you might as well do it.
Yeah,
It's not
do
going to
it
make it worse.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, appropriation, because these are all the things in chai.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So I feel a little like
Just different doses,
yeah, probably.
dosages of those things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. It's a
But
grievance.
I'll tell you, I guess if you're talking about appropriation to chai, then yes, I think you have an argument. If you're saying appropriating the pumpkin, because
No.
there's really no pumpkin, but they're coasting on people's.
I'm saying pumpkin spice is appropriating chai.
I got you. Because I was gonna say then, well, they're kind of lifting the image of the pumpkin.
Sure. The pumpkin is winning.
Yeah, the pumpkin's a big, dumb, ugly.
No, it's
I love them,
yeah.
but you got to acknowledge
I
they're.
love them.
I love them. They're not uniform. They're always dented. They always
Yeah.
look like they have a tumor somewhere on them.
Yeah, not the ones I pick.
They're an ugly offering, and they're enormous. They have elephantitis.
Oof, yeah, yuck. Okay, how many tributaries flow into the Amazon?
Oh God, there's got to be thousands.
1,100 tributaries, with 17 of them being longer than 1,500 kilometers, 930 miles.
Whoa.
Okay, is Manhasset the name of a Native American tribe? That was his guess.
Right. Or that it was a Native American word. Yeah. Okay.
And he's right. Manhasset is named after the Native American word Manhasset, which means island neighborhood. This name comes from a tribe of Native Americans who lived in the area before European settlement and used the nearby bay for fishing and shellfishing.
So then he was right in that Manhattan is also.
I think you added Manhattan in there maybe,
think
and it
he
all
did.
sounds right.
He's
Maybe.
smarter than me. I
He
think
was
that-
smart.
Yeah.
He was very smart. Is Manhasset exit 36 off Long Island? No, he's not smart.
Thank God.
Exit 36 on the Long Island Expressway is for Singerton Road. Manhasset is served by nearby exits such as exit 32 for Little Neck Parkway, which is west of Manhasset, and further east exits that lead into the area.
Mm. The LIE. Isn't that what people say?
Probably. Okay. How many people are descendants of Charlemagne?
Okay.
Okay. It's estimated that nearly everyone in Europe
Oh.
is descended from Charlemagne
What?
and therefore related to him and each other. This is because Charlemagne had at least 20 children who established royal lines. And due to the large number of people in Europe, genealogies fold in on themselves, making it statistically certain that nearly all Europeans share common ancestors like Charlemagne.
Whoa. It's not that he fucked as much as Genghis Khan.
Doesn't seem like that
Okay.
because now I looked up Genghis Khan.
He had thousands of children.
An estimated 16 million people are direct male line descendants of Genghis Khan,
Direct.
which is about 0.5% of the world's males population.
Wow.
This figure is based on studies of the Y chromosome, which is passed from father to son. Millions of other people are likely descended from him through female ancestors, but this cannot be traced genetically using the same method.
So it's double. It's
It's
not
a
like he had
lot.
only had male offspring. I'm sure he had
Exactly.
fitty.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Do you think
God.
I am a descendant of him?
No, I don't.
Do you think I'm a descendant of Charlemagne?
Nope. I think you're a descendant of Siddhartha.
I'm more likely a descendant of Genghis Khan than Charlemagne, if we had to pick.
On its, what do they say? Prima facie? What is it?
Yeah, prima
Prima facie.
Stephen Dubner said that multiple
Prima
times.
facie.
Yeah.
On the surface,
Yes.
that makes sense. But they both had empires. And I don't know which one spread closer to India or not, even though I did read the Genghis Khan book, which was great.
Maybe I'm a descendant of both Charlemagne and Genghis Khan.
Oh, double whammy.
Secondhand smoke rates. I looked that up for fun. Nothing related to the episode.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
okay.
I'm kidding. It came up. According to the CDC, secondhand smoke is responsible for an estimated 41,000 deaths per year in the United States. This includes 7,300 deaths from lung cancer, 33,900 deaths from heart disease, and 400 deaths from sudden infant death syndrome. Yeah, no one likes that last one.
That's from people who live with a smoker, I guess.
Yeah.
Ugh. You shouldn't have to do the time if you don't do the crime.
I know. It's
I know.
sad.
I was inundated with secondhand smoke in my childhood
I know.
because my father smoked in the car with the windows up. And then my grandparents smoked, and I was with them a ton. And they both smoked.
How long did your dad smoke till the end of his
He
life?
quit smoking, I want to say 10 years before he died.
Okay, so mostly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And really voluminous levels of, he would go through these phases. Like I remember my mom telling me this time when they were newly married and he had started this company selling door-to-door mini bikes. And he was like, it was all in.
Yeah.
And then the company collapsed and they couldn't deliver orders. And like, he was done. He didn't know what he was going to do. And she
Yeah.
said that he sat in a lazy boy for like 2 months
Ding, ding,
straight,
ding.
all day long, every day.
Shit.
And just chain smoked cigarettes, smoked like 5 packs a day. And then one day woke up and took a shower and put a suit on and went and got a job somewhere else. But he'd have these,
Depressive.
even when he was healthy and sober, he still smoked like 2.5 packs or more a day.
That's a lot. As you know, my dad stopped smoking for me.
How long did he smoke?
Smoked a
10
long
years or something?
time. Because in India, they smoke a
Like
lot.
4 years old, you said.
Yeah, he started as a baby boy. And then
They do in Papua New Guinea, probably not anymore, but as recently as like 15 years ago,
kids.
they wean children from breastfeeding with cigarettes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
And no lung cancer.
Wow. Really?
Yeah. Well, on the ethnographies where they did chest x-rays, there was no
Weird.
lung cancer.
That's strange.
That's what all these people build their theory on, that like it's really the chemicals that are in the American cigarettes. But I don't agree with that, but that's
Right.
where it comes from.
Huh. But yeah, he smoked a lot and then he had to quit for his little girl no pit stops.
Yeah, no pit stops.
But it took him a couple tries.
Yeah, does he desire it ever? Does he like see it in a movie ever? I kind of want to bang a dart with a choke.
No.
Come on. When he's 80 and he's not going to.
He doesn't want to anymore.
Well,
He
him
quit
and I
for his
sit-
no pit stop.
Him and I sitting out on the porch of either his southern home or my southern home, banging some Camel Lights, just reminiscing.
I
Sounds
think he
pretty
has
fun.
like what you have with drinking. Like there's nothing about it that
He doesn't even think about it.
yeah. He switched to get off of it. He switched to a pipe
That's silly.
and then he had to get back on he missed it. He had
He
to
had
get
to go
back
to
on
cigarettes.
it. Yeah. No, but I think he got back on the pipe or something
Oh,
and then he was done.
And you know, when we say on the pipe, generally in the 80s, we're talking about the crack cocaine
No,
pipe.
his wasn't like that.
Okay. It's just weird for you to say my dad got back on the pipe.
He sometimes talks about his pipe.
Mm.
Okay. Now, UNC, speaking of Southern homes, UNC is an incredibly hard school to get in out of state.
Is it?
Yes. And one of my best friends went there and it was like a big deal.
Sure.
Out of state students make up no more than 18% of the first year undergraduate class at UNC Chapel Hill due to its UNC system policy.
Mm.
And then I thought this is interesting. I wanted to look up United States public colleges ranked by lowest acceptance rate, but I wanted public colleges.
Okay, I like this. I like this a lot.
Do you wanna
Fingers crossed.
What do you,
Well, I feel like Berkeley's going to be very high on that list.
and that's what you want?
Yeah, I want all the UCs to be high on the list. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, congratulations. UCLA is number 1.
Oh, wow. I did not see this coming.
Neither.
This is a big, I'm proud of you for reading. If I were you, I would have saw that and be like, I didn't even see that. I'm going to keep going.
I am a woman of integrity.
Number 1 in the whole country.
9%.
Oh.
But we're out of
Well, so they've passed Berkeley. Because when I went there, it was Berkeley, then UCLA.
Yeah. Out of state, it's
not looking
really
good.
fucking hard.
Yeah.
Number 2 is the Naval Academy.
Okay.
I'm kind of surprised they count that, but sure.
All right. Let's throw that out. That's bad.
Yeah,
That's
I
a
don't count that.
outlier.
Berkeley
Number
is
2.
next.
Okay. Number 2.
Then we got Air Force Academy. I also don't.
No. Okay.
trust
So what's
that.
number 3?
Then we got Military Academy. No.
Okay. Although we want to say to our men and women in the service, obviously this is very important, and we're grateful that it's so
It's
hard to
just
get
not
in.
what we're meaning
No,
to
we want
do
state
here.
colleges
Now-
in the civilian world.
So we got UCLA.
So far, all we got is UCLA and Berkeley.
and Berkeley.
Yeah.
And guess what number 3 is?
Well, you're smiling so big as if it's UGA, but it
But
can't
it can't
be.
possibly be.
I would say it's U of M.
No, it's not.
No. What
It's
is it?
Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech. Okay, so you're feeling some pride.
Yeah, because my dad went to Georgia Tech.
Okay.
Then
Just
we
to remind people, you went to UGA, right?
get. Oh my God! This weekend I got the cutest vintage Georgia Bulldog shirt.
Oh, you did.
It's so cute. I love it. I can't wait to wear it. Okay, then we got UVA, University of Virginia.
Okay.
Then we got University of Michigan.
Oh boy. So number 5 or 6? Once we dump all those fucking military academies.
Okay, if we're not counting military, we have
UCLA. Let's
one-
just remember the list: UCLA, Berkeley, Georgia Tech, UVA, U of M.
Michigan, number 5.
Okay.
And then UNC, Chapel Hill.
Okay.
number 6.
Well, this is a good day for me.
I also don't necessarily
it?
trust this because I am absolutely not on board with the next few.
Well, really quick, what's the percentage at U of M in number 5? If UCLA was 9%, 18, so twice as hard.
We got some more UCs a little further.
You know, this would guide my decision on what college I wanted to work at in the admissions department. I would not want to work at UCLA. So it means you have to sift through tens of thousands of applications to get down to your 9%. That's too much work. I want to go to a place with like a 78% acceptance rate.
Okay.
So that I'm only reading an extra 30-some percent.
How did you even get into that school if this is the way you think?
I know. A corner cutter, a short cutter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
UGA is on this list. It's on the second page.
Okay. What number is it?
It's not. It's not.
Oh, we didn't get a number.
No, we didn't.
Okay.
We also threw out some other numbers.
Did they just list all the state?
No.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot more.
Okay.
There's 5 pages.
Is Penn not a public?
Penn is private, I think.
University of Pennsylvania, no?
Private.
It's private.
That's why it's so expensive. And like Wharton.
Okay. Wharton.
Anyway, that was interesting.
Wow. Okay. I feel really good now. That felt really good.
I'm like, I just really resist. I want to be,
Oh, okay.
you're making it so hard. You're making it so hard. Because you were a California resident.
Oh, yeah. I was. Yeah.
Just want to.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I just want to say that.
Yeah. And you were a Georgia resident.
I regret, only because of this, I deeply regret not applying to some other schools.
Yeah.
I only did the
Yeah,
one.
like the joy you'd feel right now if you go like, well, I turned down UCLA.
Out of state.
Yeah. I don't know though if that would have
How dare you?
Well, Monica.
We have the exact
Monica.
same IQ to the point.
No, okay. I'm gonna let that one just go away.
You
want to get into that one? I don't know that I have a higher or lower IQ than you, but what I maintain is that wasn't an IQ test. That's just okay.
On our cognitive test,
On our cognitive
scored
test. Yes.
To the point.
Yes.
10th of a point.
You can be smarter than me.
I'm not saying I am.
I'm just saying that wasn't an IQ test. Okay. Then what was the other thing I was upset about? You made a lot of inflammatory statements
I
really
can't get
quickly.
into UCLA.
Oh, I do know.
Okay, let's hear it.
It only got worse.
Okay.
I can answer if you would get in or not because I know what the starting GPA was for freshmen at UCLA.
You mean entering freshman?
Yes.
Okay.
I recall that you did have a 4.0, right?
I graduated from Georgia with
Not Georgia, your
from
high school.
High school? I
Yeah.
didn't have a 4.0.
You didn't have a 4.0.
No.
Okay, great. And nor did I.
Yeah.
But the starting average grade point for a freshman was 4.08.
Yeah.
The average person had gotten all A's and did some AP classes and got
AP.
A's.
Actually, I need to go back. I need to know what my GPA was because I was in a lot of AP classes. So I got a lot of bonus.
Sure.
So I don't really remember. But let's just
Okay,
say I got
let's
a
call
4.08.
That's a big thing to assume. That means you never ever got a B.
No, I got B's.
Yeah.
I did not
So I
do
just
well in physics
Okay.
or chemistry.
Okay.
I mean, and when I say did not do well, that means B's.
B,
I
yeah,
never
yeah.
got below a B in anything.
Right.
And
Jim, how'd you do in gym?
I did great.
You got
I'm a
A's in
great
gym?
athlete.
Okay.
I did like 45 pull-ups.
Oh, wow.
I was so light back then.
Sure.
Yeah, I think those were the B's, physics and chemistry.
Okay. Which is incredible. But I do think would have ruled you out for admission.
I don't know about that because
Okay. You're not ready to admit that.
yeah, it was probably the average entrance. So some people got in under that.
And conversely, many people had 4.2s.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
some people had 3.8s.
Yeah, if they had a 2,000 on their SAT or whatever the
No
hell
such
is
thing. See,
1,800.
1,600,
1,600.
which I also did not have.
Right. Okay.
But
So
you know what? I think my essay would have really been compelling.
I tell myself that my essay is what got me in.
And I would have got a diversity bump.
Okay, now we're talking. You got a little
Diversity bump, both as an Indian person and as a Southern girl.
Pop. No, you don't get that.
Yeah, you get that.
No, they're not trying to.
Yeah, they want that.
Make sure the people from the South.
I think they want that. Okay.
Maybe Southern Indian like Kerala, but not
I'm
Southern.
working on with two
Three.
Southern
You think you have three?
environments. Okay.
All right.
Now Alexander Technique. He talked about teacher, like a very prominent Alexander Technique teacher at at NYU. Not on the list because that is a private school.
Mm-hmm. You can get in with like a 2.3, I think. And a 400 on your SAT.
And I think it might be Mona Stiles because she taught the Alexander Technique for decades before her passing in 2020 at the graduate acting program at NYU. I do think he said he, so, you know,
I feel like he said he as well.
He did. It might be, we don't need to know what might be's. We don't need to do that.
We don't deal in hypotheticals here.
Yeah. Tom Stoppard is Czechoslovakian. He got that right.
Oh, great.
And
I guess I should read a Tom Stoppard play.
great place. I wonder when you come over to my new house,
Yeah.
if you'll be impressed by how smart I am because I have like so many plays
Oh, wow. Yeah.
that I read and studied, and you can flip through them and you can see my notes.
Okay.
And,
They'll be on display in your new house?
Yeah, right now they're like behind the couch. They're hard to see. But in my house, you're going to be able to see them better. And I think you're going to have a whole new opinion on whether or not I could get into UCLA.
Okay. All right. TBD. Okay. Wow, I can't believe UCLA was number one. That really went my way. That's like a real blessing.
You went to that school
Yeah.
as an in-state resident.
Oh. Even worse, you want to keep piling on as a transfer student,
That's
which
okay.
is also
I
easier.
decided not to say that.
Okay, you felt like that was punching
I did feel
down.
like that was a little too much.
Yeah, that's punching down.
Well, that's it.
All right.
Billy.
Well, that was lovely.
Uncle Baby Billy. Not Uncle Baby Billy, but, you know,
Billy Crudup.
Billy Crudup.
Uncle Baby Billy Crudup.
That's
All right. Love you.
Love you.